get into it. I'm sorry.
All right. B3 GamingCast, episode 46. 6 away from 52, which is an entire year of podcasts.
Holy shit.
One away from my age.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
And I'm feeling it.
Has it really almost been a year?
Yeah.
April.
52 weeks in a year.
Yeah. April, late April. I think April 18th.
April 20th, I think.
There you go.
Yep, it was 420
Janzer
when we
knows
started.
it to the day.
You know why? Because I was on that Podbean quite a lot recently. So I was like, oh, that's where it says the actual date. Otherwise, I couldn't remember. Yeah. So we got some housekeeping to do here concerning questions that were sent to us that we never bothered answering. But to be fair, we also had a shitload of like things we would go over. I remember like we were running along on the streams already, you know. So it was like, all right,
yeah,
we gotta go dying here. But yeah, let's see if we can answer some of these questions here. Graham sent these in. Let's see if I can pick one that is. This one's kind of easy. The first one, he goes into a big description about the term flow and what it means in like education, and basically it's just like being in the zone. So the question is, how would you describe your flow in video games? What does it take for you to get excited to be immersed? Blah blah blah. Well, for GamerTron, a video game just has to be announced, and then he's already excited. Huge heart on and everything.
Doesn't always have to be sexual, man. Not everything I do has to do with my dick.
Okay. So anyways, how would you describe your flowing? I don't know. I guess to me that sounds a little odd. How would you describe your flow? I think that's just being in the zone. But what games get you in the zone? Like I can say for me, it definitely varies. But one that's done it for me lately has been 7 Days to Die.
Right.
What about y'all?
Horded by zombies.
Yeah, I can sit and play that game for like fucking 7 hours, 11 hours. It's always like, one more thing. Okay, one more thing. All right, one more thing. All right, let me just get this one more thing.
I find some of those survival games lately, I was never really big into them. They're kind of therapeutic.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, maybe that's just me, but...
No, I
mean,
said
you agree
like
with
7
me,
Days
but...
to Die was like Zen-like, you know? Like
exactly.
I'm fucking
like...
digging a mine and I'm staring at a rock and hitting it with the pickaxe and doing that for hours.
Those games don't take a lot of skill. They take a lot of patience, but not skill.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that, you know...
Yeah, that's
I'm trying to pass the time when I play my video games.
Yeah, yeah.
And, boy, that's a time waster. Mm-hmm. So it's perfect, you know what I mean? So...
Yeah, man.
But for me, it's Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, the time just goes, man. I streamed for almost 4 hours last night, and I thought I was only playing for like an hour and a half. That to me to me kind of answers that question. I don't have a flow in a game. I mean, have you ever seen me play a game? Crying out loud. There's no flow there.
That's why I kind of restructured it to be like, what kind of gets you in the zone with video games, you know? I used to play racing games for like hours on end, you know? I loved that Gran Turismo series when it first came out.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of surprising that you would like racing games.
No, I love it. Well, it's because in real life, I love fucking going fast in cars. I should never be behind the wheel of a vehicle, basically. Because
you should have married my wife, because my wife drives like a fucking bat out of hell.
Yeah, like I had standard vehicles, manual, shift, whatever, we call them standard back in the day, call them manual, shift, whatever.
Manual, yeah.
And I would just
stick shift.
Yeah, I would slam those gears, and people would be like, "Yeah, you should be like, this isn't NASCAR, dude. You don't need to. You need to chill out." I loved it though.
Yeah, but the problem is cops are dicks and you get speeding tickets.
Oh, I have
expensive ass speeding tickets.
I have so many. And then in
really?
Texas, in Texas,
wait, like how many speeding tickets do you have? I know this is a video game.
I don't know, like fucking 10 maybe. Here's the thing.
Fucking 10?
Yeah, probably. Here's the thing.
Here's
the thing. In Texas, the more you get in a certain period of time, you get points against you on your license.
Uh-huh.
After a certain collection of points, you start getting billed for a ticket for 3 years in a row, the same amount.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's a huge penalty. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, 10.
Well, I don't know if it's
Andrew.
10. I think it's
You're
close
not even
to 10
that old
or
of a guy. You've gotten 10.
Well, I started
tickets.
early, dude. Come on. Look. Here's the thing. When I went to my driving, like I took driving instruction so I could get my license early too, because I had already been driving anyways. And it was just, I also grew up somewhat in Ohio, and that's rural area.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
That you grew up in rural Ohio.
So no one gives a shit if you're driving a truck and you're like a child in the country.
Oh yeah, nobody
don't give a fuck because they're probably drunk driving.
There you go.
But I got my license early, and the instructor, one of the notes he made was suicidal. I'm not even kidding. Well, you see, there was a car a block away, and I knew I could turn left based on the speed and the distance. I have depth perception, not bad. So I made the turn. I just kind of made it a little quick. And he was like, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing that." But I was like, why? It was totally fine. What was wrong? Like, the car wasn't even halfway through the block. You know what I'm saying? He was just being a whatever fucking stupid instructor.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bad story. I took it in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was a junior in high school, so I had I was waiting for the branch of the Bureau of the driver's license branch to open. I was there like waiting for them to open the day I was eligible to get my driver's license. So it was like 16 years old and a day I had my driver's license. A lot of these kids nowadays, I know like 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds that don't have their driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends. I know in very rural, in very like New York, it's very common to not have one.
Oh yeah,
because
there's people that never get their driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
In those kind of cities, but you don't really need a car. Around here, car is freedom. I mean, when I was growing up, I had to have it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, parents bought me a car. When I got my license, parents bought me a brand new car off the lot. They saw my first grades in college. Came home, car was gone. Parents giveth, parents taketh away. But
I bought a lot of mine initially because they were like beaters or whatever, but I just wanted a car. I didn't give a fuck. When you're a teenager in high school, like you said, a car is freedom. So I bought some shitty cars, but then I would actually work on them too, like sand them down, give them new paint job, all that kind of stuff, work on the engine, all that stuff, everything. I think the most I did was like the transmission on a manual, like on a stick shift, whatever, that went out, like gears had grinded in there. So there were metal bits all in that back part on the rear axle. I don't know what it's called. Someone called it a pumpkin at I was like, what? When you're working with dudes that are like, they know
mechanically inclined.
Yeah, but they don't actually have all the whatever the correct terminology is. I was like, they
just make up shit.
Yeah, one guy was, that's the third member. Oh, that's a pumpkin. I was like, isn't that the gearbox? Isn't it? Maybe not. I don't know. Anyways, I swapped that out on my own. I had to be like maybe 17 or something like that. So I was pretty mechanically inclined back then. Anyways,
but our driver instructor in high school was our health teacher, and he ended up getting in trouble. He was an older guy.
Oh shit!
Ended up getting in trouble for molesting one of the young girls. While he was
okay. I thought you were gonna say boys. All right, fair enough.
No, it was a girl. She was hot too. I know.
Jesus
I remember her name. I could say it, but I'm not going to. So anyway, move on. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What about you, GamerTron?
I don't know how to respond after that. Where do you go from that?
Oh, you have no experience in life. I forgot. Let's see here. How about video games?
Young Canadian man. Go ahead.
Jeez, man.
I'm sorry. I'm honestly flabbergasted. I don't know what to say after that.
It's GamerTron's like you take him out to a bar and he's like, "What do we stand at the bar? Do we sit? Do we?"
Yeah,
come on, man. Jesus.
He's analyzing the human beings in the bar.
Yeah. Video games that put you in the zone. Recently, we'll cut it down to very recently. What video games have you been kind of lost track of time playing?
I can honestly account that to a number of different games, but to answer more of Graham's question about what gets me in the flow of games, it's not really any particular game. It's just a game that has a multitude of mechanics that synergize well with one another.
That's why I swept away all of that stuff and gave you restrictions and said, recently, very recently, what are the current games that you're playing that you've lost track of time? That constitutes you're in the zone. You know, that's what he's talking about. Yeah. I know how to translate English.
I get
I'm
that,
doing a good job here, man.
I'm not saying you're not. But I'm just saying, like, it doesn't matter the game as long as the game has
So answer the question, though. We heard that part.
Okay, well, obviously Doom.
Doom.
Titanfall 2,
all right. Titanfall 2.
For Honor.
How long do you find that you're playing versus, like, how long you expect to be playing? You know, it's like, oh, I'm going to play this for 30 minutes. Next thing you know, it's 4 hours gone by.
Yeah, that's pretty much every time I play a game.
Yeah.
I think the only game where that hasn't happened to me was with Call of Duty games. I'm like, I'm gonna play this for an hour, and then exactly on the hour, okay, I'm done.
Okay.
with a lot of other games, like if the mechanics flow well, like Titanfall's parkour, Doom's glory kills, For Honor's melee combat, like if the mechanics flow well, and I just get sucked into the mechanics, I'm focused. I'm in the zone, I'm in the game, so it really all depends on the game's mechanics for me. But as for recent games, Doom, Titanfall, For Honor, just mechanics that synergize well with one another. Like, I can play arcade games that,
yeah,
like,
that's very subjective,
like
too, to each person. Like, some people can find certain controls, and I've played games that even people in the B3 community have had varying opinions on, like, control-wise. That's why saying something like that is so broad and basically a non-answer. That's why I restricted it down. Because you could say mechanics that flow well. What in the fuck does that mean? And we don't need a theoretical explanation. We're just like, to you, what works well for you? Well, I like Titanfall 2
But I made
mechanics.
all these pie charts and everything.
I know, and no one gives a shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, the mechanics again is like, well, you can do a running, jump that goes into a slide and then grapple off the ground and go swinging, and then eventually like do a wall run from that, and then jump off of that and do a slide run, from there. That's like, oh, gotcha. So you love the parkour of Titanfall 2 for sure, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's amazing. I agree. Totally.
Oh, yeah.
I know
I just can't play first-person shooters more than about 45 minutes to an hour at a time. I have a hard time. I don't know. I just lose interest.
And that's what saying like any game, I wonder if Pony Island has good mechanics for somebody. I doubt that GamerTron would say, oh, yeah, totally, I'd be in it.
I need to play the game.
Very subjective.
Yeah. I've played games that I thought I was going to hate and ended up, that's actually pretty good. So you never know.
Exactly. So that's why we're trying to get people to get an idea of what games versus like a broad, expansive answer. All right. That's great. Let's see what the next one is. If you were to recommend the podcast to a friend, which one of the previous episodes would you tell them to listen to? Why that episode? That, I'm sorry for asking, is too much. Like, I think we need to research before we answered that. But if you guys have something off the top of your head, go for it.
Well, I do. I would probably recommend one of our earlier episodes, being a little self-critical, but I like the episode I really liked, had a lot of fun doing, was the Scarjo Bots episode, because I think we mixed a little. I think just looking kind of at ourselves a little bit, and you guys, I hope you guys don't take this the wrong way or anything. I think we kind of talk about the same games too much over and over and over, but I know we're not like professional gamers that we don't. Everyone likes what games they play and they want to talk about that. But some of the earlier episodes, if you'll listen to them, a little bit more, it's a little more lighthearted, fun stories thrown in and everything like that. So I think I would tell them to listen to the Scarjo Bots. I think Janzer coined that term or whatever, but that was a funny episode, and that's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, I hate getting locked down and repeating the same games over and over, and I've said so
sometimes you
during
have to,
the podcast more than a few times, But it's not, it's a group effort here, so yeah, fair enough. Any ideas, GamerTron?
That's a funny episode.
I honestly, I'd recommend the episode that was just you and Count. When I listened to that, like you guys just have great the one. Oh shit! There goes my microphone.
Damn.
I'd recommend the episode where it was just a duo. You, Jenzer and Count. When it was just you guys. I was absent because I was deadly sick. I honestly recommend that one because you guys have great camaraderie. You don't have me interrupting. There's
What?
great flow. It's very.
I don't know. He just likes to say things.
I know.
Okay, should I not say things?
You can say things, but you got to say truthful things. You don't interrupt us. You're not known as the interrupter.
Feel that way,
If
Gamer.
anyone, I'm an interrupter. I just did it.
He just interrupted you. Yeah, he just proved the point. So.
Jeez.
No, I mean that's GamerTron's opinion. I mean, you
Yeah,
have to
fair enough.
respect his opinion. And I don't
GamerTron
believe
is
he actually
hinting at
feels
something
that
subtly,
way.
you know.
I think Gamer's favorite episode. He just talks about For Honor for 2 hours. I mean that's what he gets off on.
And then again,
Oh, please.
no, I think
you said that about Doom, then about Titanfall. It's always another
I think
game
it's
with
his
Count.
talks about Battleborn that he just never stops. That he just keeps bringing up.
He
Even
loves
when I
Battleborn.
explode and say, "No one gives a fuck about Battleborn."
You do, obviously. You've been live streaming the damn thing.
Hey, look, and this is why I don't like people gifting me games. I feel a need to do something with the money they spent.
Right.
So I'm not going to be so much of an asshole and just be like, you know what? Fuck that game. I'm going to be like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. And let's see
Right.
what's behind this game, you know? And let's be fair here for a bit. Especially
Well, you should
the more...
branch out and try other games once in a while.
God, I do. I don't think that's
I
my
know you
issue at
do.
all.
I'm not talking about you specifically. I mean
I gotcha.
everybody, you know.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, once in a while. I really don't
Yeah.
see any issue of like playing a game that you absolutely love. Because
Well, of course
why do you
not.
need to
Yeah.
bother? You know, like,
Right.
Especially when they cost like $60. You know, fucking Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Well, I mean, you look at these YouTubers,
Oh boy.
like these Call of Duty YouTubers,
Oh boy.
that they're so locked down in that one game. You can tell that they don't even like the game anymore.
Or
but they
Warframers.
feel, you know,
Yeah.
why would you do that when it comes to
Views.
gaming? I don't know.
You know, it's all views. It was Warframers
Yeah, I
do the
know.
same thing.
I guess if I were making as much money as those guys
Oh yeah,
talking about a video game, I'd do the same thing. So who am I to judge, you know?
yeah. Well, you know, settling out always feels good. So
Yeah.
we just gotta we just gotta get there. We just gotta get there. You hate on it until it happens, and you're
Until
like,
it happens to you,
Yeah.
it become the thing that you hate on. Yeah.
look, Count. We're just saying, $100,000. Would you promote this game? I love this fucking game.
Oh,
I was
fucking
following
greatest
it.
game on the face of the earth.
I wish I could do
Since
that.
Alpha.
Twitter's gonna pay GamerTron $50,000 a year. All of a sudden, he walks around with a Twitter
Yeah,
T-shirt
Twitter
on. You
T-shirt.
know, he loves
Twitter
it.
tattoo on his
Not
cheek.
in a million years.
Get the fuck out of
Oh,
here!
yeah,
Twitter
you would.
offered you $50,000. You would
Shit,
be
I
the
would take
biggest fucking Twitter
Nope.
fanboy.
Nope. Nope.
Then
Sorry.
you, my friend, have lost my respect. If you can't
Jan.
even sell
Yeah,
out
really.
for $50K, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. Oh, wow.
Well, should it be more? Is that what you're?
Oh, hardball. Oh, I like it. Never mind. Respect gained and then some. All right. I like this hardball. All right. I don't know. I like a lot of that. I often say when we end a podcast, when I feel like we had a great podcast, and I thought we've had a couple of good ones just recently too, because we don't agree on a lot of things, and that comes through and makes some interesting discussion, and I kind of enjoy that. But
Yeah, I like arguing.
sometimes, yeah. Well, you've
If you
said it
haven't noticed
before on
my
the
Twitter
podcast.
account, I like arguing a little bit.
Count
Yeah.
you have said it on the podcast before. You like to fight, so
Well, I mean, it
Can I
depends.
get that on a T-shirt? I like to argue. I want that on a T-shirt.
that's not anything special. What?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, who wants to argue?
I like
just-
bread. Put that on a T-shirt.
Actually, that would probably sell well. Knowing how the world works, that would probably sell well.
I guess I don't know. Not my world.
Philemon in chat said he'd be wearing Twitter T-shirts, hoodies, and underwear for 50K.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking
Nah.
about. I mean, if they
At
provide
least
all
he's
that
honest,
stuff,
you know.
dude. If they give me free clothing, sure. What do I have to
yeah.
go and buy any clothing for? And just save that extra money and throw it in savings and buy my way out of under that contract at some point.
Okay, how
you gotta
about
be
this?
smart about it.
How about this? If I was offered $50K, I'd probably say give it to charity.
No,
Oh,
you take
jeez.
the 50K and you do it yourself, and then
Yeah,
you
the
look even
GamerTron
more
show
amazing.
charity. That charity you need to be giving.
You got to start thinking steps ahead, man. Come on.
Yeah.
That way you look even more amazing because you're the one doing it, right? And then somebody else actually sponsors you that you want to sponsor you. And then you could drop the sponsorship from Twitter at some,
Yep.
So,
Okay, so basically, don't open my mouth. Everything I say is wrong. Gotcha.
No.
yeah, if you feel that way, sure. All right.
Okay.
So moving on. We all approach a game differently. This is number 3 here. Yeah, Count, GamerTron, and Dancer all approach a game different. I would imagine most people, Is there a specific game you have always wanted to see the other two play? If so, what game?
At the same time, or just
Probably just like
anytime. Okay.
You know what I would like to see? I would like
Yeah.
to see one of y'all play a game while the other one sits there and comments. I
That
would
would be
love
cool.
that. Like
That would be
GamerTron's
cool.
playing and Count's like, "Shut the fuck up. This is."
That would be cool.
Or GamerTron's like super bored of a game that Count loves, and Count's like, "Oh man, like Marvel Heroes. Make him play Marvel Hero." Or DCUO.
Oh Lord.
Make GamerTron play it, and then GamerTron's like, I just don't. It's just, I don't want to be rude. It's boring. And Count's like, what are you talking about? Look at all these options you have, and goes through all the. I'd love to
some
see
games
that.
aren't good to watch. They're good to play, but they're what I mean. So
You know what?
I
That's
don't
an
know.
awesome.
I want
we
to see
should
you guys play
actually do
Horizon
that.
Zero Dawn. That's
You gonna
that's
buy
a
us a
good game.
PS4?
oh
Wow. Oof.
oh all of a sudden he's into
Jeez.
capitalism now.
I know.
I've always been into capitalism. What?
Take the money. Yeah. But that's
So if
just
I
a
bought you a
good game,
PS4,
man.
you would play it. Yeah, right. Sure.
But yeah, that's actually great.
Sell
We
that
should
one to
do a
someone
video
else,
series
buddy.
on that.
The problem with that is that's just a good game. I think we would
Yeah.
enjoy it. So I
That's
don't
true.
like.
Yeah.
I would like to see something that either one of you doesn't like, and the other one plays it while the other one comments over it. Be awesome.
Didn't we already do that? It was called Honey Pop.
No, but
How
that's a
about
good
something
example.
on the Nintendo Switch? How about Smash Brothers or something? I don't know.
Oh God, I don't want to play Smash Brothers.
Yeah. That's my answer. I want to see Janser play Smash Brothers.
Oh Jesus!
Be bored out of his skull.
There's got to be one game that I know. I can't remember. Pac-Man. Oh, I'm cool with Pac-Man.
Pitfall Harry. I don't.
Pitfall. Yeah, anything from the past. You're not gonna.
Was it called
I'd be like,
Pitfall
yeah, it's cool.
or Pitfall Harry? It was
It's Pitfall, and I think he
Yeah,
was Pitfall Harry. Yeah.
Pitfall Harry. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd like to see Gamertron play some of the old Atari 2600 games. That would
Really?
be that would be cool.
What was that one? Was it called War? Or I always think of it as War, but I don't think it was called War. You had a tank or you had a plane, and there was just one
Combat.
Combat. There you go.
Is that right?
You're right. You're absolutely right. It's Combat.
Oh, okay.
That's,
All right.
That's the first memory of a video game that I remember playing.
Oh man.
Got my ass beat all the time on it.
So that was your first video game that you remember?
Yeah, because I think I had to have been maybe like 4
Oh, okay.
or 3 or something like that. And there were older kids that would play the game, and somehow I was there in the mix of that, and they would just stomp me. And I remember being so pissed off. I've told this story before. I was so pissed off. That's where the salt started. I was born into it.
At 4 years old?
Oh, yeah.
of
I was
salt?
so angry that they were able to do things that I couldn't do. And so I was like, I'm going to be better than you. And that's where the try hard started. Yep.
What was the first game you played, Gamertron?
Oh
That
Jesus.
we're on the subject.
Overwatch?
Okay.
Oh.
Well, let's go back to Doom.
Honestly, it was a point-and-click adventure game when I was like 5, when I was first like learning to
Myst?
speak and read and stuff like that. I think it was
Myst.
Little Monster Detective Smelly Mystery. It was a point-and-click
I gotta look this up.
children's book adventure game. Oh, I can't believe it's all coming back to me now, man. Yeah, that was like before Star Wars Battlefront, I'd consider that my actual first gaming experience, but if I'm being technical and playing semantics, when I was like 5 or 6, my first like introduction to video games would have been Little Monster Detective Smelly Mystery. God, that's
Oh, yeah,
so
but
Other than that, it's Star Wars Battlefront.
technically it's Star Wars Battlefront. That's kind of like my first experience with like a shooter.
Didn't that just come out?
Okay. Yeah.
No, I mean the original
The original.
Star Wars Battlefront. But yeah, someone. Oh, you found the name.
Oh, yeah.
Mercy Mayer's Little Monster, Private Eye, the smell. Yep, that's it. Oh, the
my
memories.
God,
There you
man.
go.
Are
If
you
you want to
kidding me?
relive GamerTron's
The
youth.
mystery.
Yep,
Smell
that was
mystery.
that was a big part of my childhood.
I know
Wow.
what the answer to it is. He pooped his pants. There's no mystery. That's just it was a
Mystery
baby.
solved.
It was a baby that.
Damn, you should be
pooped his
working for
pants.
Scotland Yard.
I
mean,
know,
come on.
right? Scotland Yard. Yeah, it's true.
It's elementary, Watson.
Yeah.
I remember
Sherlock,
the
you
first arcade
fuck.
game
Yeah.
I played was Space Invaders.
Space Invaders. My
Yeah,
first
at a-
arcade game, on the other hand, shit. I don't know.
Oh Jesus.
Space
I
Invaders.
was at a
that's-
Shakey's Pizza, and I saw Space Invaders, the first arcade game I had ever, stand-up arcade type game. But I had a Pong, or my neighbor had a Pong system, and then I got Atari 2600. So that was like the start of my video game
Space
addiction.
Invaders.
I think
can't
my
remember.
first arcade game, it was a light gun game. I think it was a Jurassic Park free Dino Wars or something
Wow,
like
you
that.
are young.
Advanced as fuck. Look at that.
His first arcade game was Jurassic Park game. Oh my god!
Like I remember Space Invaders, Asteroids.
old.
What was that one where you were kind of like on the edge of like a cliff or something, and you would shoot down as things came up that cliff, and you could go around it in a circle like each way.
Shit.
It
I've
had like a
actually heard of
dial
that.
that you could turn left and right, and you had to fire down. Oh my god!
Star
It was-
Castles.
no. It was a really popular. I want to think it started with an X or a Z or something, but
Oh,
but
yeah, I
it was
know what
it
you're
was all
talking about.
lines. It wasn't even nothing was filled in. It was like lines and stuff
yeah,
like that.
it was vector graphics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Got- yeah. But I
I
remember all
had
those
that game
games.
for my Vectrex. I actually had a portable game system called Vectrex back in the early '80s, and it was all vector graphics, but it had a little joystick, like a dual handle joystick that would pop out. You can get them on eBay now, but that's an awesome system.
Yeah, I do remember the first arcade game that actually impacted me. Like holy shit, because I had seen all those other games and whatever, and I played Pac-Man, whatever it was, but the original Street Fighter, I was like, what the fuck is this? Because nothing looked like that, and the
Right.
control system. It was
Right.
like, what is this control setup? What are
That
we
was
doing here?
groundbreaking.
Yeah.
I mean yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, and then I was like, these guys are fighting each other. Oh man, what's possible? What can you do? I remember my brain just that's probably the first instance I remember of overthinking everything. I probably thought that you could do way more than you could actually do.
I had that exact same experience with the very first Prototype back in 2009. It's that game that got me into
Jeez.
gaming. When I saw Prototype, I was like, "What? You can shapeshift?"
He's
You
like
can grab
Battleborn
tanks
when that
and
came
throw
out.
them?"
Whew.
Jesus.
Kidding. Prototype was an interesting game. What was the kind of like competing game that was very similar but
Infamous.
Infamous. Yes. Prototype is the one I had. That was on the PlayStation 2? No, 3. PS3, I think.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was on the PS3 because I had a PS3.
Yeah, it was interesting, kind of like with what's happened with games recently, like similar genres coming out at the same time. Infamous was a superhero game. Prototype was a superhero game. They were both open world. They both starred edgy
competition.
protagonists.
Very, very, very normal. Very normal competition. Yep. Let's see. What else we got?
Oh wait, I didn't say
yeah, go ahead.
for you guys. Speaking of Prototype, Count, have you ever played the Prototype games?
No.
Well, that is the games I would like you to play, because I know how much you love superheroes and comic books and games that give you a lot of power, like Dead Rising 4, where you kill hordes of enemies. I think you would really like the Prototype games.
It's open world
I've played
too.
Infamous.
Yeah, it's an open world type game, I think.
It is.
Yeah.
I really think you'd like Prototype, Count, with the shape-shifting, the different powers, the fact that you can pick up tanks and throw them.
Infamous. Yeah.
Pardon?
Infamous is pretty similar, I think, right?
Yeah, I played that. I played Infamous, a couple of Infamous games. I didn't finish them or anything. I didn't really get into them that much, but
I didn't like the controls for Prototype. Like I struggled with those controls for some reason. Then again, it was a controller, so maybe that's why.
Phil said he had he said Calico. I think he's saying ColecoVision.
Yeah.
Congo,
ColecoVision.
Bongo, and I had a ColecoVision.
Galaxion,
Oh, shit,
Choplifter.
a
Yep, I remember those.
ColecoVision. Holy shit!
I had
that's
every
ancient.
video game system under the sun growing up except Sega. I didn't have a Sega Genesis. That's
true.
like the only one I didn't have.
Oh, that's the I had that with like every fucking attachment for it.
ColecoVision was kind of the shit there for a while. That Donkey Kong, because
Donkey
it had
Kong.
the extra. It wasn't like 8-bit. It finally had 16-bit graphics. So you had that Donkey Kong game wasn't half bad for the time when it first came out. But you're talking about what 1980, 1984,
Holy moly!
1983, something like that. So yeah, you're going way back.
Yeah, that's good shit.
Yep.
God damn.
For some reason, that reminded me of a different game, but I'm gonna get to the next question anyways.
But
Yeah.
I got finished my Jens.
Oh,
the game
okay.
the game I'd like to see you play is
You already push games on me, so
true.
what else could there be?
Battleborn. He's already.
what
done
else
it,
could there be?
GamerTron.
Well, honestly, Shadow of Mordor. I think you'd really like that game. I
Eh,
know how you
yeah.
like the combat of Mad Max, and I think the Nemesis system, with you being able to build your own orc
see,
Nemesis.
Once again, you pick something that's like very, like that's expected. You know, like you picked a good game. That's a good game. Like, what do you get? There's nothing surprising about that. I
Right.
would have picked something like, I want to see you play Barbie's Horse Adventure with. That would be mine for Count. Count needs to play Barbie's Horse Adventure while GamerTron gives
Sitting
him
in a
assistance.
beanbag chair in my
Yeah.
underwear. Or some
Give-
shit.
GamerTron gives him assistance on how to dress up the pony. You know,
Well,
and Gamertron would be
think he's
playing
a
Marvel
brony.
Heroes while Count coaches him on how to actually play the game.
Oh Lord.
Oh, yeah,
I
that'd
don't
be
know how to play
glorious.
the game. Anyway.
Well, I enjoy seeing people play games they enjoy.
Oh, me too. You would
It's
love
me.
the game.
I'd want to see Tron play the early 2600 Atari 2600 game. E.T.
Well, I'm
the,
sure
the
there's
E.T.
a-
game that
Oh,
they buried out in
God.
the fucking landfill in New Mexico. Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm sure there's an emulator for it. I'll take a look.
I doubt it.
Mad Max for the Nintendo. Go look that up on YouTube.
That's a real thing.
I'd like to see you play that, Gamertron. You think Dark Souls is challenging? Oh no. Oh no.
You mean the Mel Gibson Mad Max?
It was the only Mad Max game on the Nintendo, the original Nintendo, and it was a top down. You had to go hunting for gas and resources and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
It was
that
a
based
piece
off
of
the Road
shit.
Warrior? Or was
Probably.
that yeah.
It was a piece of shit, and I played the crap out of that game because it was so difficult. I always found games to beat my head against, you know? It was one notoriously hard game. It was just so unfair. Games were just unfair. That's all it came down to.
I've never heard of that. I'll have to look at that.
Yeah, you
Look
check it
that
out
one up.
on YouTube. It looks like garbage. You know?
Mad Max for the Nintendo. I'll check it
Wow.
out. Check it out.
Volts is saying, didn't I sort of do that for you, Janzer, for Dark Souls? No, Volts, what you did for me was you helped guide me through. What I'm talking about for them is more of a commentating, not necessarily helping.
Trolling while you play.
Hey, that's a good fun. Just having a good time, you know, like, you know, just
Nothing
having a good
serious,
time.
but-
Nothing, thank you. Nothing serious. Just because I like that whole, that's back to the old days of when you had a friend over, which I had so often. I always had
Oh,
friends
yeah.
over playing the console games, you know, Nintendo
yeah.
or the Genesis. That you don't have that. That's just not, that's what Nintendo says that they keep trying to keep, you know, with like, well, that's why we don't want online networking access. Because we want people to actually go to each other's places. That's why the Switch is a portable, so you can take it from one place to the other. But that's just not the world anymore. Sorry, Nintendo. You fucked up.
But I do remember those days. I remember those days of going to a friend's house or a friend coming to my house to see a game because we didn't have the same games. We couldn't play multiplayer. I was the only one with a PC. Everyone else had console. Oh,
No.
man, the days.
RPG, I played the crap out of that game.
Silver
Super
Surfer?
hard. Super hard, but not anywhere near as hard as Mad Max. But yes, I love that game. I loved that game because I love
Yep.
Silver Surfer. I always thought that like he was just like super powerful and whatnot. And it's like, how do you stop him? He's got the power cosmic. How do you stop him? You can't. He'll just take you apart. He'll just take. Yeah. like the Hulk.
This
They
can
said like the
blink at
Hulk
him and
could
he's
beat
dead,
Silver
basically.
Surfer. I was like, no, he can't. Silver Surfer would just take him apart with the power cosmic. He just would dematerialize him. That's it. He would just blast him with the power cosmic. You can't come back from that.
Blast who from the power cosmic?
The Hulk.
Oh, the Hulk. Okay,
Yeah,
I thought you
the
meant
Hulk
Galactus.
is just
I
a
was
construct. Silver Surfer's like fucking energy, man. He's. Anyways, sorry, I'm a Silver Surfer fanboy.
No, that's
Can't
cool. No, that's
I used to
cool.
draw him all the
I
time.
love,
It was super hard
I love
because he's like a
Silver
mirror.
Surfer. Norrin Rad.
Norrin Rad, hell yeah.
But
I even knew it like Rom. Do you remember Rom?
I remember
the
Rom.
Space Knight.
Rom the Space Knight. My
yeah.
friend was big into Rom growing up.
I have
Early
some of those
80s.
comics.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Do you know the story behind Rom?
Refresh my memory.
So Rom was actually not a comic first. It was a
toy.
that they
Right.
tried to they tried to do it in reverse. They were like, we need to make marketing for this toy to sell it.
Yeah.
So let's go make a comic. Yeah, I love the artwork for Rom. It was so cool. I didn't see a character like Rom be the main, that robotic look or whatever. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So to me,
My
it was
friend
cool.
had the Rom toy.
Ah.
And then he got into the comics, and I never really got into Rom comics, but he had the toy.
He was
the
just
toy was
different.
pretty cool.
I think it was different, and it was space, whereas all the Marvel stuff was on Earth, whatever, And the other thing was, I think I just liked silver.
Just like
and robots, shiny. I'm basically a raccoon.
Okay,
I'm just a raccoon.
You know what? I can completely understand why you guys like ROM Space Tonight. I just looked it up.
He's
I
pretty
gotta
fucking
admit,
cool.
That's a classic.
And he had
80s
that
robot
gun
design.
he
That's
had
pretty
that
cool.
gun that could reveal the enemies.
Yep.
Because they were shape shifting enemies.
Yeah.
And they kind of look like aliens or Brood, the alien from the Alien movies, or they kind of look like the Brood or something.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to remember. It's vague right now, but
it's vague for me too. But what
he
you're
had that
saying
gun
makes
that
sense.
could reveal their true nature or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I love that flying toaster. All right. He did look like a
Then we're going
boxy
memory
fucking
lane
toaster.
here. Jeez.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Don't get me started.
Let's get this other one here. B3 now is its own gaming giant. Oh my god. I can't even imagine that. You have 3 key roles that all 3 of you have to fill, but only 1 spot per role. Fine, fair enough. What role would each of you fill? Community manager? I think that's kind of a given. Lead tester? I don't know why you need a lead tester for like a gaming, like we're creating games.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. I was like, so we're not what we actually are right now.
See,
okay.
he's doing a hypothetical here.
Yeah. I just thought he meant like
Yeah.
like we actually made it. No, lead tester and then group general manager. I think I already know who fits in all 3 of those.
I don't fit in any 3 of those.
Oh, shut
This is the question. This is the question I hated the most out of his.
No,
questions.
I absolutely
no offense,
know.
Graham.
I totally know where you could fit at least in 2 spots.
Yeah,
GamerTron, what do you think, GamerTron? Let's just hear because I want to hear counts, but I want to wait for it.
I'm thinking maybe lead tester. I think. I'm not
Who's
entirely
lead
sure.
tester? No, you got to place everybody.
Oh, I gotta play. Okay, well, you definitely community manager, and I guess count group general manager.
And then you would be lead tester? You
Yeah.
do play a lot of games. That does make sense.
Yeah.
Now count. What do you think?
Fuck, I don't know, dude. I really wouldn't have GamerTron community manager because,
Woo!
no offense, but he doesn't like controversy.
Oh, jeez.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
Doesn't even have Twitter, so you got to have a community manager that does social media,
Oh, jeez.
and it's not hypocritical about it.
Fair enough.
So,
You make a fair point.
It wouldn't be Tron as community manager. He'd be lead tester.
Okay.
You probably wouldn't want me as community manager because I'd probably, I don't know.
So you're putting yourself out of the position yourself.
I'd ramble on about some social justice warrior that pissed me off or some stupid shit, and then I'd end up vilifying the whole goddamn
Development company crashes before game is released.
I'm probably the janitor.
Oh,
Yeah, there you
no.
Dude,
I'm custodial.
don't.
I take out the trash. There we go.
Count.
General
I would say,
manager.
yeah, we'll let Janzer lead up the group, and yeah. I don't
Count.
know.
You're too hard
So
on
you'd be
yourself,
group gen.
man.
I don't see it that way. I see GamerTron would be community manager because you need
Are you
absolute positivity on the forefront.
That's a
Regardless
good
of the
point.
negative that's coming in, you need
That's a
somebody
good
that
point.
is going to get hit time and time again and never be phased by it.
That's
I
a good
react.
point.
Count, you're already at a position that you feel that maybe you would be going off script. That's not the problem for me. My problem is I react. You know, you don't react either, Count. You're like, people tell you shit and you're like, yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah.
But then you said you might bring up the SJWs. I wouldn't bring up the SJWs, but I would get pissed off with people.
Right.
So I can't fit community manager.
I wouldn't have you as community manager.
No, exactly. So I feel I would be either.
You would be lead tester.
I would either be lead tester or group
Yeah.
general manager because I'm
Oh,
already a
fuck.
controlly
I just-
little bastard, and that's kind of what I used to
But
do anyways.
you would only be lead tester if they had a customized AI or UI. Did I say AI? I meant UI.
I'm reversing my previous answer. I confused community manager with group general manager. I thought they were the other things. I'm a dumbass. Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that Count would either be lead tester or group general manager, one of the two, but I feel like I could be either one of those roles too. I think that we could easily swap that.
That was the question I didn't like out of all these questions.
Wobotron is right. Janzer as lead tester, I definitely always try
That's
to break
true.
a fucking game.
Yeah,
true.
I agree. You'd probably be lead tester. And
I don't know.
We probably wouldn't even have a group general manager. You know,
I kind of agree. I've
Yeah.
kind of found that position to be kind of like, what? Maybe something different, you know? But
I would be the way that Janzer would tell, yeah, there's a little bug on level 30. Yeah, go play with that over in the corner until,
no, I really doubt it.
until
See,
you figure
Count-
that out, dumbass.
You have the
Yeah.
attitude of there's three different ways people can be led. One is like if they're one type, they have to do things themselves and they have to come to things themselves. You can't tell Count. You can tell Count to do stuff, but if he doesn't come to it himself or want to do it, he's not going to fucking do it. That's
Right.
all that it is. And
Yep.
especially if what you're saying doesn't make sense to him. So it's better to just say, here is the loose set of instructions, get it done. And then he'll do it how he needs to do it based on his own direction. You can't micromanage him for sure.
I'm kind of a follower. Yeah, I'm not a leader. I'm a follower. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Based on this past almost year of working with you guys, I have a pretty good idea of how you guys work in a group. GamerTron definitely need to let him do stuff with a lot of corralling. You have to micromanage him. You've got to, because he's got a lot of energy. He's got a lot of ideas, and he needs to have direction and to be reminded. It's not even like, I didn't do this thing because I didn't want to. It's more like, I didn't do this thing because I'm a squirrel.
Right.
And I'm doing all these other cool things. Yeah. So, yeah. What's the next one here? What is something you appreciate? What is something you appreciate from the B3 community? Well, that's easy for me. Like for me, it's absolutely the support. We still have
Yeah.
a certain crew that have shown up from day one. And that's ridiculous to me, you know? It's easy to just like hear something you don't like and just never go back, you know? It's like, oh, I didn't like that last week. I'm not going to bother next week, you know? Because they might think that something's changed, but it's really hard to get support from people. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt.
I really
I like
appreciate-
free games.
They haven't given us any. We've given more games away.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Actually, that's not true. I've gotten a couple of free.
If anyone,
I got
I'm
a
the
couple
one who
free
hasn't gotten
games.
a lot of free games.
I got a few from the crew. That's true. Ghost Recon Wildlands, I got access, and I got Conan Exiles and Worlds Adrift, and maybe one or other too. I can't remember.
Fuck are my free games?
Oh, but you're not part of the community. You're part of the B3 Gaming something, the podcast. So
No, he's a GamerTron. He's got his own
GamerTron.
community, doesn't he?
Yeah,
The
you have your own
GamerTron
community.
show community.
yeah,
You're a top dog over there, I heard.
that's true. I heard they named the place after you.
You've got celebrity impersonators.
I
Oh,
do.
shit.
I do.
You have overzealous fans. Yeah, me too.
Could
Apparently.
you imagine like GamerTron walking out of his house and like the paparazzi's there, like
Oh,
taking
Jesus
pictures of him?
Christ.
the shades on and everything?
That'd be hilarious.
He's
Oh,
wearing the
He'd be like
tracksuit.
the Justin Bieber of video games.
Oh God!
He's wearing a felt
please,
tracksuit. Yeah,
Tracksuit. I
Tracksuit?
love
that's what I'm
What?
saying.
Remember that tracksuit Bruce Lee used to wear, that yellow one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
Okay,
was
that
badass.
I wouldn't mind. That's an awesome
badass,
suit.
man.
That's an
But
awesome
it's not anybody can just wear it though.
If my
people
fat
put it
ass
on,
could
then
fit
they
it
look
on,
like.
I'd wear one around the house, but you know.
Some people put it
Anyway.
on and look like a Ghostbusters reject. So it's just you can't just put it on. Justin Bieber of video
Light
games.
him
It's
up.
true. He is from Canada. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, we are so sorry about that. By the way.
Well, no, that's okay. Canada's produced some pretty cool people. Jean Lajoie, he's a fucking hilarious comedian. He should be way bigger as a comedian. But I mean, if anyone that could put out a song called "I Don't Give a Fuck," and then partway through it changes to "I Don't Give a Chainsaw," chainsaw everyone, chainsaw everything. Yeah. So, last question: how can someone looking to be part of the B3 community participate or get to meet others? How can someone contribute or support as well? I like this
Nudes.
question a lot. I don't
Oh, I
like
do
what
too.
GamerTron just said. Most of our listeners are dudes. Please don't listen to GamerTron. Actually, send it to the GamerTron show at gmail.com.
No.
Or hit him up on Twitter.
Hit him up on, well, he doesn't have Twitch. So, but hit him up on his Discord. Yeah.
Yeah, good luck.
Or
with that.
actually just post the pictures, hashtag we love you GamerTron on Twitter. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
I'll find some way to make money off it.
Let's see here. Well, I can answer this for myself at least. How can someone looking to be part of the B3 community participate or get to meet others? The participate has definitely come from when, let's say, we need people to talk about certain topics that we don't have any info about. We pull them in. It happens. Graham right there, he knows. So that's easily, as far as the meet others, shit. The only thing I can think about is like TwitchCon, stuff like that, But I don't know that any of us are going to anything like that,
I'm an social son of a bitch. I mean, I'm not gonna. You're really. I don't know about that.
I've got no games cons that are near me anytime soon or anything like that I would even be interested in that I know of, So I'd go to one, but yeah, I don't think we're
I wish I
even at that
could.
level.
I wish I could have gone to PAX East.
Well, I think PAX South or whatever was here, but I was like, anybody going? No? All right. I don't need to spend my money. Cool.
I've heard the lines are like crazy. People are bitching that they're just standing in line all day, like fucking amusement park or some shit.
Yeah, it depends. It depends.
Yep.
How can someone contribute or support as well? Share the podcast for sure. That's the biggest and most important thing is sharing the podcast on Twitter pages, Facebook, whatever, social media. Absolutely cannot stress that enough. There's many times where I might release a episode and it might get like one retweet or one like or something, or one, favorite. And that's like, we really, in order to grow the podcast, past what we have now, we definitely need that share. You could, if you're a YouTuber, you could make a promo video, say, hey, this is a podcast I really like. Come check it out. That would be amazing. Like, we would probably run more contests and stuff like that if we had more random people. We just haven't bothered in a while because I think we haven't really thought of anything.
It'd be the same people winning the same shit over.
Volts won again. Wait a second. Wasn't Volts on the podcast that one time? Oh, God damn. Collusion.
Collusion.
What are they gonna do? Sue us?
He took over the podcast. What are you
I
talking
know.
about?
It's true. He did. Any other ideas of like how to contribute, support?
Well, honestly, like you said, Jans are sharing, but like just mentioning it to your friends, not just online, but on the go. Like, hey, dude, what podcast do you listen to? I listen to this gaming podcast I really like, Be Free Gaming. It's full of a bunch of cool guys or jerks, whatever you want to describe us as. Like,
There's
just
so
let
many
them know.
podcasts though nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I'm up to like 5. It's easy for me to listen to them though too. You know?
So whether it be online or offline, just mentioning like, hey, I listened to this podcast I really like. They're looking for more viewers, more support. Like, it doesn't need
Come
to be
check
like,
it out. Just the
yeah,
tip.
exactly.
When I was doing the DC Universe online podcast, most of the people said that they listened to the podcast like on the commute to work.
Hell yeah.
It's like almost like 90% of the people would say, "Oh man, I listened to I listened to your stupid little podcast here on the way to work, and it passes the time my 45 commute and everything, so
every time I go to walk my dog, I start up a podcast that I've been listening to. It's just I walk to the store, whatever podcast, whatever it is.
I do that when I mow my lawn.
Yeah, I don't like being out and about and having nothing to hear, like just walking. Just sometimes I do that, but most of the time I like to hear something I want to hear. So it also catches me up on like gaming news or whatever I'm listening to. Actors, comedians, interviews, and stuff like that. At some point in the future, I keep flip-flopping on when it's going to happen, but I'm going to start up my own Patreon. GamerTron actually already has a Patreon. My Patreon would be for me, but it would also offset things like costs for the podcast.
Right.
I'm working on like rewards tiers. I have some stuff. Some of y'all in the B3 community I've kind of shown you that to kind of get some feedback on it. I just don't feel that there's enough that you have to have something that's rewarding to the people that are going to bother throwing money at you, even if it's $1, you have to have something that says, okay, well, here's this or whatever. So I'm still working on that kind of garbage, but,
well, the you see most people do the Patreon Google Hangout.
Yeah.
Like guys will do a Google Hangout like once every 2 weeks or something where the Patreon supporters, I just, supported a guy on Patreon. I missed his Google Hangout reward though, but he's a comic book creator guy.
He's actually doing something.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So I don't
he
really
doesn't
have
create
a lot
comic
of
books. I mean, he talks about comic books.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
But he's actually not creating anything. But
okay.
Except he's stirring the pot. That's about it. But
Well, that's one thing too. Like Phil was suggesting, maybe I like that B3 UI that I'm doing for 7 Days to Die, the mod. He was like, oh, maybe that could be a reward. And I was like, no, I want it to be free. That's the whole point of mods. I don't want it to be behind some kind of like paywall. But if people want to say, hey, thanks for putting the work into the artwork and pulling up all these stats on the screen, because I'm making a UI that's actually usable versus the vanilla one. That, on the other hand, I'd be like, yeah, if you want to bother, hey, you can throw some money at that. That'd be cool. Same thing with the podcast, that's almost a year worth of like editing and all that shit. We do the work ahead of time and after the fact. And yeah, it's nice to be supported in some way like that. But you can't ask for if you don't produce,
Right.
So, but yeah, that is that with the questions, guys.
I can close that window.
Who wants to go first?
I don't know why I said that.
Gaming stuff. You're like, shut that shit down. Glad we're
I'm
done
gonna
with
shut that shit down.
Well,
that window.
On my end, I don't got too much gaming news on my end. Again, I ain't got too much. You got anything, Count?
Yeah, I mean, I can talk about something that, most of the stuff that I talk about, like the people in the chat just wouldn't give two shits.
We still have
two shits about, but
we still have quite a lot of other people based on the downloads that actually listen, though.
Yeah,
this is like less than 1/10 of the people that we have that download the podcast.
Well, Conan Exiles.
Yeah,
I've been playing. They put out a video a few days ago regarding the future of the game.
The future of rock and roll.
The game is still obviously in the early access, but they said that the full release is going to be early first quarter next year or something, 2018. But they put due to the success of the game, they're putting another $5 to $10 in the development cost of the game. And they shared
$5
some
to
of the
$10.
stuff. 5 to 10 million.
Oh, I think you were chopping up a little there.
Oh, was I chopping up
a little bit?
Oh, don't tell me.
Did you hear that, GamerTron?
Yeah, but
Like
I heard $5 to $10.
Yeah,
$5 to $10 million. Maybe I did miss. Maybe I did skip it.
I was like 5 to 10. Holy shit, they don't give a fuck at all. Hey, we're gonna throw some lunch money at that shit.
We're throwing a fiver
hey, Carl,
at the game, baby.
You have $5?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're adding a pixel.
Yeah.
We're adding a pixel to the upper corner.
We're adding a quarter more inch to the dongs. Yeah.
But they kind of I
got some dong news, so
I like the guys that make the videos for Conan and they blur out the fucking they do the naked shit and then they blur out the dong and I'm like, why are you I know they're doing it for comedic effect, but you know. Let me run down some of the stuff that getting back serious here. Let me run down some of the stuff that they highlighted that they're going to be adding to the game soon. For one, they're adding a costume dye system where you can actually change the color of your costumes. Oh, wow, that's a new concept. New avatars are coming. They have a new area in the game, Highlands area. I guess it's a little bit more civilized or something. There's more vegetation, shit like that.
Are they going to meet the Highlander?
Yeah, well, I guess so.
There can only be one.
Claude McLeod.
What was that, the Quickening or some shit?
Yeah. I just remember it was McLeod or something.
They went off the rails on the Highlander, though, man.
Oh, yeah.
The first Highlander was cool, and then they fucking ruined it.
Who's the guy that played him at the end with the like white hair, and he's really shitty? He played like Raiden in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that's Christopher Lambert.
There you go.
Yes.
They call him Christopher Lambert, to try to like church up his name a little bit.
I call him Chrissy Burt.
It's fucking, and he's a terrible actor. I mean, he's just horrible.
He is a bad.
Okay, I think he did. He was,
and his voice is like,
or
whatever. He does that voice.
The best acting work, and I'm no acting critic. I mean, come on. The best acting work I think he ever did was the Highlander. Everything else is pretty damn cringy, man.
Like the first one? Sure.
Yeah, the first one was cool.
First one was pretty decent.
Then again, it had Sean Connery, and Sean Connery, like, he elevates everything.
Yeah, but that was just he wasn't in it that much. That was just kind of one of those additions,
It also wasn't the bad guy the guy that played Sabretooth? Or was it a different guy?
Sabretooth?
Yeah. Let me see. Who played Sabretooth in the
I know
X-Men
the bad
movies?
guy.
That dude.
The original X-Men movie?
Yeah.
The guy that played Sabretooth in the original 2000 X-Men movie was a wrestler.
Oh.
It wasn't the same guy.
Yeah, because I remember that the bad guy from Highlander.
Yeah, I think you're thinking something different, Janzer.
Who's the bad guy from the Highlander then?
I know he's the same guy who plays the corrupt prison guard in...
He plays a lot of bad dudes.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He's the corrupt prison guard in Shawshank Redemption.
Clancy Brown, apparently.
Yeah,
yes,
Clancy Brown.
But his get-up in the Highlander where he's got that skull helmet, it's badass, man.
That
the Kurgan
badass.
is what it's called.
Yeah. Clancy Brown also does a lot of video game voiceover work as well.
He never played Sabretooth?
Yeah.
No. He is a shoo-in for Sabretooth.
He would be Sabretooth, but no, that wrestler, the professional wrestler played Sabretooth. I can't remember his name right off the top of my... He was in Joe Dirt as well. He had a little cameo in Joe Dirt.
Tyler Mane?
Tyler Mane, that's him. Yep.
Okay.
Tyler Mane. He's like 6'8".
Very disappointing.
Or some shit. And what's Hugh Jackman, about 5'6"? So, yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, that's about right, because Wolverine is shorter than Sabretooth by far. Yeah. They need to get Clancy Brown. Is that the guy? Clancy Brown to play Omega Red. Oh, yeah.
That'd be cool.
Fuck yeah, dude. He's got the most evil...
Eh.
Just put him in... Omega Red's in like a whole suit and everything,
Right. Be cool, though.
Anyways, Conan, what was with that update?
Sorry.
Oh, I don't mind. I don't mind at all. They're adding sorcery to to the game soon,
Oh.
where you're going to be able to do shape shiftings.
Do you have to like sex fight with the witch? What?
Like
it's
like
a thing
in
that
the original
happens.
Conan, that was great.
Yeah,
man.
he has a sex
Oh,
fight
that
with
was
the
one
witch.
of the coolest parts.
Yeah.
I love that movie, man.
Are they going to add dogs with vests and hats? Because
I can watch.
that was in it too. Remember they had the dogs that were attacking. They had like the armor vest or whatever, and that little hat on their head.
Yeah, that's the guy that's what killed Conan's father.
Yeah.
There's that pack of dogs.
Conan.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the sorcery, you're going to be able to shapeshift, summon demons, and you're going to be able to, when you kill a thrall, you're going to be able to resurrect that thrall, but the skeleton will actually work for you.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So you're going to have some resurrection type abilities. They're going to add mounts to the game that you're going to have to tame, of course. And
your friends.
they're going to have mobile siege weapons.
Cool.
Where you build a catapult, but it's going to be on wheels, so you can actually roll it. And you can it's not going to be like a fixed, it's in a fixed location. You actually change the location. They're also adding something similar to 7 Days to Die. They're adding a thing called the Purge, where NPC armies attack your forts. Like, how every 7 days and
they already do that. Like there was a point there during I think 14 or early 15 where they added what they refer to as day hordes. Like I've called them out on stream. I was like, you'll have like a random group of like 10 or something like that show up. But what it is now is there's going to be chance for any type of zombie to be a pharaoh now, meaning a pharaoh, not a pharaoh from Egypt, like a king, but a pharaoh, Feral, meaning crazy, wild, you know, and they run no matter what fucking time. So basically, you're not going to be safe anytime. Yeah. They're taking away my George Romero experience.
But they have like a server event that happens where it's like a zombie horde, right?
No, because you can run your own servers. So, I mean, there are the day hordes, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, that might be what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I just thought it sounded from what I thought 7 Days of Die did.
It's probably feral day hordes now, which is going to be fucking horrible, which means they're all running and crazy and whatnot.
So it's going to be more like Left 4 Dead, basically?
I don't know. I mean, those are roaming groups is what Count's talking about, like a horde that attacks your base. They already do that now. Like, you can't get away with, like...
In Conan?
Oh, I thought you were talking about in 7 Days to Die.
No, I'm talking about Conan.
Oh, you brought up 7 Days to Die? I thought
but I said it's an effect that's similar to 7 Days to Die.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. That's what I thought you were talking about. But it's called the Purge, and it's like an NPCs. Because right now, you can fight NPC Conan on the PvE server. You can go raid their villages, but they don't come and make an organized effort to storm your shit. And that's what this Purge is going to do, where you have to build up like every certain time. I don't know what the specifics are of the time it's going to happen, but they're going to have like a server event where the MP enemies actually gather and raid your fort, and you have to fend it off like a PvE
Purge.
event.
Isn't that a little too like on the nose with like current society and all that, right?
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not set in. I don't name it in stone. That's what they said in the video. But
basically, you're going to have less peace. Yeah.
Basically, it's going to be more to do for the PvE players. Basically, so you always have to worry about that in PvP, obviously. But and they're also expanding on the thrall system. I guess they're going to have thrall scheduling where you
Can you come in on Monday at 10 to 2?
Exactly. They're going to punch a clock and boom, get to work.
Look, I had 3 call-ins already. You got to come in.
But I guess they're really going to go full bore with the thrall system where you can actually schedule them to do certain tasks at certain times. So they'll expand on that more, they said. So, it's kind of cool that they're putting that much. All this is going to happen over the course of the year, but the newest thing they're going to be putting in is the costume dye and the new avatars. They said, and the mounts. The mounts will be coming soon. So
okay.
kind of cool.
What kind of mounts? You have an idea?
They showed a picture of a horse. Obviously, I don't know. I didn't really look that close, but I just saw the horse.
Okay.
Hopefully, they'll have some more creatures. Like maybe you can ride on the back of a giant fucking scorpion or some dumb shit.
Tame. Go out there and capture them and tame them. That would be.
That's
better.
what you're gonna. That's basically what it's gonna do. But
I would ride an alligator because those things are beast, man.
That'd be sweet.
Those things are. They don't give a.
But
fuck.
I hope it's just not horses. I hope they have more exotic type creatures. Fantasy type creatures that you can ride in the game.
Yeah.
Same here. You ride horses in every other medieval
that's what
fantasy
I'm saying.
game.
It's like,
give us fucking lizards and giant, I don't know, birds or something like that. I don't know. Give us something interesting. It's a fantasy game. Have fun with it. I really like that about Dragon Age Inquisition, where it gave you a variety of mounts. It wasn't just horses. There were these weird deer, lizard things. There were full-on dragons and something called, what was it? Enough? It was this big, like, bunny deer thing. It was really weird. It was really
Chocobo?
weird. That's Final Fantasy. But yeah. Have fun with your mounts. Like we see horses all the time.
There was an MMO you were playing, Count, that kind of one of the mechanics of that game was to capture.
Riders of Icarus.
There you go. Yeah. You can
it's
capture
kind of
almost
like
everything.
the Pokemon MMO type. One of the main goals of that game is to try to tame all the kind of creatures. They have a zillion creatures in that game, but
yeah, no, that's pretty cool. I always thought that was awesome for that game.
I don't think it's anything like that, but
yeah, I do have a little bit of extra
Thug
news
Hater
for...
said they are going to have more animals. He's been keeping up on the rhinos. You can tame rhinos and stuff. He's saying so.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
that'd be
cool.
Tame one of those stupid ostrich birds.
Volt says they have a scorpion mount in Ark Survival.
Yep, they do.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Ark Survival has all kinds of weird animals. Yeah. They have all kinds of weird animals. Like they got so weird, I'm not even interested because I'm just like, I don't know, platypus donkey, get out of here. Just weird shit.
That's going a little too much.
Plus, you already get to tame the dinosaurs. I mean, like, all right, that's cool. Just getting weird shit. I know there's not going to be any dongs for the consoles on Conan Exiles.
Oh,
so they're pushing for tits, but no dongs. I don't know where that line is drawn, but apparently dicks are bad, tits are good. So sexist much? I don't know. But
really.
Yeah, they were talking about in an article that how the nudity was not even a big thing to them. They were like, we're gonna have boobs. Hey, what about dicks? Yeah, sure, it would fit. Well, why not? And so they just added them into the game.
Said.
And they were like, yeah, we didn't really think anything about it as we're developing. And then next thing you know, it becomes the big thing. I kind of call bullshit on that. Were they really that oblivious to think that people wouldn't go nuts over a dick slider when no one else has done that in a game? Full nudity. I'm bullshit. Whatever. I'm sure they knew. It was going to be some kind of like thing. Unless they're totally out of touch with like society and online internet. Yeah. Anyways, that's all that I had to contribute to that.
Wobotron says my sound is stuttering every once in a while. FYI.
Yeah.
So.
Well, if anybody else says it, we'll kind of address
I don't
it.
know. Not really
Anything else for accounts?
differently.
I mean, anything else for Conan?
No, that's about I covered it quickly, but they have a video up on YouTube. You can see it like 4 or 5 days ago. So
awesome.
the video's up on YouTube. You can see if you're interested.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
GamerTron, anything? I've got a bunch of stuff here, just waiting for y'all to see.
Okay, well, since I have not too much stuff here, I'll just get through it quickly. Have any of you seen the gameplay reveal trailer? For Middle-earth: Shadow of War?
Nope.
Yes.
Oh, you saw it, Count. Awesome.
I've seen some of it. Yes.
Yeah, well, it was pretty awesome. It's been very well received, and for everything we've seen from the gameplay trailer shows that they've taken the mechanics from Shadow of War and just put them on steroids. There are a number of new mechanics and combat options. They've greatly expanded the Nemesis system. Not only is there a greater variety of Uruks and special attributes that Uruks can have, But now it also applies to allies. The Nemesis system has been expanded to where instead of making Nemesis, you can make allies and even close friends with Uruks. There are Uruks who will join your cause. You don't need to mind control them, and they can help you out in battle. They can become your bodyguard. They can betray you if they don't like the orders you're giving them. There's now this whole fortress mechanic system where you have to pick an Uruk to defend a fortress once you leave to go conquer other fortresses. There's fucking dragons! You can fucking fly dragons! They showed off that you can fly and mind control dragons. Fuck
Cool.
yes. Pre-ordering that for that alone. On top of that, they've also expanded the Nemesis system. It no longer just affects orcs, no longer just Uruks. Trolls have been added into the mix. So now you can make Nemesis and allied trolls that will be completely randomly generated from the Nemesis system with unique attributes and all that stuff. Oh man, there's a ton of new mechanics. They've really expanded the Nemesis system, the gameplay, everything. Like, it's Shadow of Mordor, like I said, on steroids. They've amped everything up to 11. I didn't know what to expect for a Shadow of Mordor sequel. I expected it to be, well, more of Shadow of Mordor. I was like, well, what else could you do with it? Turns out Monolith, they can do a whole of a hell lot more. Yeah, so Shadow of War, based off the gameplay trailer, looking pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of taken back a little. I saw a lot of the reaction videos. I watched quite a few of the gameplay trailer, and then I went back and looked at the original game. I mean, what do you think is this just like game bias or something? But what is so special about the new gameplay video compared to the old Shadow of Mordor? Like, why is everyone like losing their mind about it?
Okay, Count. There's a few moments in the game where, like, you jump off a ledge and mid-air you get to use a bow. That's a completely new, like, mechanic. Before, when you had to use a bow in the game, you were totally stationary. Now
So
you
they're
can
catching
move
up to Warframe. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, and there's a whole bunch of new executions, like with the first game. Like, it had a lot of enemy executions, but after a while, like, okay, I've killed that guy. I've chopped off his head the same time a few hundred times. They've expanded the gore system. Legs and arms were getting hacked off.
Yeah.
That's all new. On top of that, I think it's really the Nemesis system that has people surprised, because the whole new orcs with all the new attributes. There's Beastmasters now that get to tame the wildlife of Mordor. There's Necromancers that can bring back orcs from the dead and use sorcery and stuff like that. There's new orcs that have parkour like Talion does. They can like climb up walls and shit. And just like... They take the base game of Shadow of Mordor was so good, and Shadow of War is just building up on that. They're taking what was good about that and just adding good new little things that more optimize and polish the experience. What was already a pretty well optimized and polished experience to begin with.
What do you think about the actual visuals and the gameplay, or like the character animations? Though I found the character animations a little bit jerky.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I agree with you, Count. I agree.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, the gameplay trailer, it's all been on a PlayStation. It's all been on a PlayStation 4. I'd like to see what it looks like on PC with everything turned up and high. But even if that was PC stuff, I got to admit, texture detail does seem a bit low.
Right.
I was especially with the like minion Uruks, the boss ones that they showed off. They looked pretty good, but all the minions, they seemed a bit low quality. So I do admit to the visuals that there was a excuse me. Oh, my throat trying to kill me. I do admit there was some I do admit there was some visual oddities in the gameplay trailer. I have to admit that. I agree with you that there, Count.
Because it seems like everyone and their brother was making reaction videos to that, and they're like losing their mind over how good the game looks. And I was like, "Have you seen Horizon Zero Dawn?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the character animations? Have you seen the combat?
Oh yeah, that stuff's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure that the
No,
Mordor
Count,
stuff compares.
I can guarantee, like on other podcasts I've listened to, everybody loves Horizon Zero Dawn, apparently.
Oh, I know.
And then the other thing, Zelda came out, so
I'm just rubbing it in.
Yeah, Link shit. I haven't heard anything about Shadow of War, but I have seen a lot of marketing for it. That's true. I've seen a lot of marketing for it. And the first game was good, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they should just be
the big
better.
knock on the game, though, Janzer, is too easy, supposedly. That's
yeah. Kind of reminds me of Mad Max then. Mad Max is not hard. It's really not, but it's enjoyable, you know?
Exactly.
You get to play your power fantasies out, you know?
Yeah. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's Shadow of Mordor. That was it is a power fantasy. It's absolutely a power fantasy. It looks like they're upping the power fantasy with Shadow of War, because before you got to control individual captains. In Shadow of War, you're controlling an entire army. You get to manipulate and manage an entire army, and that's going to be a big thing. So they're taking what was a third-person open-world action game and now adding this kind of real-time strategy element to it, where you have to pick and choose your captains and who's going to hold fortresses while you're away conquering other fortresses. Because you can lose fortresses that you take over.
More
which, again,
micromanaging.
Exactly, yeah.
That's all I'm hearing. Yeah, probably nothing anywhere near XCOM, though, you know. But
God, no. I hope
XCOM
not.
2 has a crap load of micromanaging.
Oh, yeah, that's the whole point, though. I mean...
Well, I like real-time strategy to be real-time strategy, not micromanage research and resource gathering and all that. Real-time strategy, not like strategy on the battlefield. Yeah, not all that other bullshit. But anyways, people enjoy that crap.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
What else? Again, here I don't have much. What else do I got here? Oh, Overwatch news.
Yeah.
So Overwatch implemented custom matches a while ago, where people got to completely customize matches, make up brand new game modes. Basically, they gave everyone the gameplay, not necessarily, I guess you could say the mechanics, just all the options for game rules and stuff like that. And they added a server browser, a lobby system. And on PC, of course. This is all PC exclusive, wouldn't work on consoles. But yeah, they opened up the custom matches, and everybody was loving them, but just days after the release of the custom matches, people were finding exploits to earn ridiculous amounts of XP and level up ridiculously quick, and get a ton of loot boxes early. So now, they're removing loot boxes and XP from custom matches entirely.
No, I don't think they're doing that. I saw that the end result is going to be no XP if basically people keep abusing it. But they didn't. Like that sentence that I read in the article said that the end result would be basically like they're implementing timeout timers, right? So if people sit in a custom match, and they don't do anything, inactivity timer, that's going to be implemented. And also, but that the end result was going to be like if people keep fucking doing this shit, they're going to remove XP gaining, unless my article was older. Mine might have been older.
Okay. I don't know. I'm looking at IGN and GameSpot, and I don't know how.
Yeah, and if it says that, that's like wow. Okay, they just went ahead and went forward with that after all.
That's such a damn shame. Like this is something that
it's like Titanfall 2. Imagine if they did that there. You know?
Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah. It's just such a damn shame. It's such a damn shame because many Overwatch players, especially on PC, have been asking for a server browser, been asking for custom matches, let people make their own game modes, because Overwatch is kind of infamous for having just 2 game modes that you play over and over again, so people want more game modes, and Blizzard was like, okay, here you go, guys, here's the tools, make your own game modes, have fun, and just removing the XP from it, like it takes away the incentive to play custom game modes. Like if you want to play with friends for fun, of course that's the appeal of it. But removing the XP, it just has people playing quick match again, which is all everybody ever plays. So that's a shame. That's a shame.
See, here's what I read, a quote directly from, let's see, one of the devs, Jeff Kaplan.
Yeah, that's the...
He said, today marks the first steps on the path. In a lot of ways, it makes me sad, blah, blah, blah. To fast forward a bit, the end of the escalation plan will result in experience gain being turned off. To me, that says that they're just starting to like implement measures now, such as the inactivity timer. And that if you keep this shit up, we're going to fucking ban, we're going to just turn it off. We're going to turn it off because the whole reporting other players didn't work. But here's the thing. If you do custom matches, wouldn't that be with just your friends anyways?
You would assume, but the thing about custom matches is they made them
can
available
open to
for
public?
everyone. Yeah, you
Okay.
can open up public custom matches. That was the big deal about it.
So that's that whole thing, like in Warframe, that they never were able to solve, which is when people would get into a game and sit there and do nothing and
Yep.
gain XP. They tried a bunch of different ways to counter that. They were never able to really actually do a good job fixing it. Yeah.
Yeah, people are gonna be shits. Nothing you can do about it, unfortunately. But it makes me wonder, why you even buy the game if you're not even gonna fucking play it? Like,
A lot of reasons people said that they would be like, well, I just got up to like go get a drink and then, maybe I took a little bit longer and next thing you know, I'm being booted out of the game, So unexpected things happen too, I don't know.
True.
I think it has to be some kind of like measurable metric where you see, okay, this person has consistently done this for the past, week or something like that. If it happens once, nobody should be punished for once.
Right,
it's bullshit.
exactly.
If my dog goes
I
crazy
agree.
and I need to go
agree.
check on something outside or whatever, then I shouldn't be punished for that. It should be a measurable offense, over time.
Right.
Agreed.
Fucking policing everything is out of hand.
Big time.
It's
Big
a shame. It's a shame. In more Overwatch news I got here, the new character, God, I'm going to pronounce her name wrong.
Orisa?
I fucking know it. Orisa? Let me
I
find
just say
out the
Orisa.
spelling.
Yeah.
I'll say, what the hell, Orisa. Yeah, the new character, turns out, in the public
Roll the R
test
if you want.
server, the people who were complaining she is overpowered are apparently correct. Again, I don't play the Overwatch public test server.
I heard the same as
But
you.
yeah, enough people have said that she's overpowered that thanks to the public test server, she's getting a nerf before release.
Well, she
she's
had a
released.
hard stop to what's that big knight character that's like a tank?
Reinhardt.
She had a hard stop to Reinhardt where she would put a power on, like her ability, and it would just shrug off. Not only would she be able to stop Reinhardt, but it would knock him down. Like his big push that he does or whatever.
Yeah.
That's kind of a little OP. And she could also counter everybody else's any effect that was like that. She could counter that too. I think the sleep dart, she would not be affected by it from what I remember.
Yeah.
That's a little overpowered.
On top of that, she gave massive buffs to all her
yeah.
teammates. So this is kind of like, this leads into a question I wanted to ask you guys. Do you think more AAA games should try public test servers like Overwatch and The Division? Do you think like this should be a normal thing for multiplayer games to have public test servers so that they can test updates and new content out before they release it to the public?
Well, like for Marvel
most
Heroes, for
MMOs
example,
have.
right? You played on Marvel Heroes.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I've been subscribed to test servers. Never been on the Division test server.
Me either. I don't want to bother.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think.
So I want to play
It's-
2 games.
Yeah, I do the Marvel. I think a lot of the test server thing has to do with people making YouTube videos, but I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest with you. If a game has a server or not, I just want to play the game. I don't.
Well, like, okay, so for example, Mass Effect Andromeda, they cut their test server. They were going to do some beta testing, and they were like, "No, we're not going to do it. We're good." Does that seem better? Well,
But that's not a true test server.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That's a bad example.
That's just like a beta.
Yeah, that's a beta. It's kind of doesn't rub me the right way, considering that no mass amount of people have tested it. But should that be an ongoing thing? Yeah, I'm fine with test servers. I'm not the one spending my time.
Yeah, as
doing
long
it.
as I don't have to spend money on it, I'm cool with it. Now, DC Universe Online used to get you. If you were a console player, they used to jack you. You had to actually subscribe to the PC version to get access to the fucking public test
that's
server.
just
So here
shitty.
I am paying a fee to play monthly for the console, and I had to pay a fee.
That's garbage.
Access, and since I had a DC Universe podcast, I felt obligated.
It should be one account, regardless of
it's fucking
platform.
bullshit.
And you have your access. And if there's a test server on a different platform, you have your one unified account. You can only play your game on that one console that you paid for it, but you could have access to whatever else. That makes sense to me. I don't see what it would hurt. The test server doesn't allow you to port your stuff over or your stats over or anything. Yeah, I do want
Marvel Heroes test server is free. I mean, you just
There you go.
download it and go, and you can get early access to the characters.
Yeah.
Test them out. But
That's something that I missed in chat. RPG was saying he haven't seen anything about Horizon Zero Dawn yet. You should check out Count's stream of it. He's got a bunch of videos anyways. I brought it up last time too, and Wilbotron's backing that up. He says he loves the stream that Count's doing, so that's awesome. So if y'all want to see some Horizon Zero Dawn gameplay, check out Count Chocula on YouTube.
If you want to see somebody struggle with the game, but yeah.
If you don't want to hear like an annoying know-it-all douchebag, yes, watch Count stuff, because I hate going to a stream where it's like, well, here you go, here's and you're gonna do this over here. Oh, shut the fuck.
I'm just the douchebag part. I'm not the know-it-all.
Whatever. You're not irritating at all to watch, dude. I can have you on while I'm doing whatever I'm doing, and it's pretty awesome. So,
well, I got a new follower, Reznor.
Reznov's pretty all right.
Reznov. I keep saying Reznor. Apologize. Well, he kind of he followed me, and then I checked out his profile, and I saw one of the he was hosting another guy playing Horizon Zero Dawn. So I'm further along in the game than that guy.
Yeah.
I went to his stream, and somebody asked a question in the chat about what's the cannon on this guy's back, like one of the NPCs, and I said blaze canister. I just typed in the chat, and he got mad at me. The guy streaming got mad at me for giving tips. He goes, I don't need any tips from you, Count Chocula, on how to play the game. And I was like, I was answering somebody in the stream. And then he kind of, he realized what he did, and he kind of apologized. So I ended up following the guy. But what is it with people? They're just like these streamers that are like overly sensitive. I mean, I can
that's
see
me.
these.
That's absolutely me.
You're not like that. It is.
I get like it gets to me when people start telling things about the game that I don't know about. Here's the thing. It's the streamer's fault. It's my fault for you're right. It's being overly sensitive to stuff that, what the fuck are people supposed to do if they just want to like talk and chat? And I agree with you, Count. I'm saying it's a problem I try to work on, That's why I recognize
you wouldn't
it.
care if somebody answered somebody else's question.
Probably not. I would read the context of the chat and not be a fucking dumbass.
It wasn't going to help with the gameplay. It wasn't because he had blind playthrough. I mean, my playthrough's blind.
Yeah.
But I'd take it. Somebody knows the answer to like where. Dude, I spent an hour like looking for a secret entrance location. I would have killed for somebody to tell me where the fucking thing was in the goddamn chat. But I kept looking over at the chat like,
no, you've got the right attitude for a streamer.
Little help, please.
you really do have the right attitude. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass or anything. You have the right attitude for a streamer because you don't get overly reactional to things that people say. That, number one, is key. If you say the wrong thing in my chat, I'll throw your ass out. It's not the right way to be. You can't grow a community like that,
Yeah.
So people have like they're trying to like shape me. They're like, dude, you got to chill out. And they're like hitting me with rocks to, bong, 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 stop that, stop. So I'm trying to become a better streamer, but
but you're not like that. You're not like
you just haven't been to enough of my streams, sir.
I have been watching I watch plenty of your streams. You're not. You're not like super overly sensitive.
Oh, geez, I am.
I mean, I wasn't even answering a question that had anything to do with gameplay. I was answering a cosmetic question.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing on the streamer.
NPCs.
He should have been reading the chat to see what the context was,
Yeah.
And not just like, you said something I didn't approve of. Get the,
He jumped down my throat, I'll tell you that. I was like,
I've done that before.
As much as you can do in the chat, it's like, well, I can just click X and close the window, but,
I've done that before too. Yeah.
Oh,
what were we
RPG's
talking
been
about?
Actually RPG Lover has been streaming Zelda, the new Zelda game.
Zelda, yeah. RPG streams a lot. RPG Lover 1980 for those of you listening on Twitch. He streams a lot late night. So if you are up between the hours of like, I'd say 10 or 11 p.m. and further, he's usually streaming pretty late. And it's a variety of games. Zelda's been on the docket, but he'll hit some old games too. Then he was doing some speed running, he kind of hits a lot of different games. So just interesting, check out different gameplay.
So has Nintendo shut him down yet though?
No, because it's on Twitch. It's on Twitch. Yeah.
I guess they don't even like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about that, but don't they have like a preferred, you have to be like part of their little...
That's YouTube.
Okay, that's just YouTube. Okay.
YouTube.
Never mind.
Yeah.
That's so
we were
weird.
talking about.
I'm talking about shit I don't know about. So
That's okay. That's okay. That's where I hear from. You were saying the robot and PTSs. That's where we started, right?
Yeah. I just wanted to know your thoughts on public test servers and
How in the fuck did I get off?
We're,
I'm so sorry,
we're
GamerTron.
talking about a few things. Public
I'm
test
so
streaming.
sorry.
Public test
Jeez.
streaming. That's what you said, right?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Look, my question on this was, can a robot be female?
Well,
Huh?
Because Orisa is apparently a female robot, and I'm like,
yeah.
but it's a robot. How is it a female?
Well, a robot can be female.
How?
Look at Jocasta from the Avengers.
I don't know what that means.
She was made to be Ultron's bride. She's a female robot.
I don't get that concept because it makes no sense. It's like saying that a vehicle has a sex applied to it. That's ridiculous. It's a fucking machine.
Yeah, but they call boats her.
Yeah, but that's just like what do you refer to it as? You're humanizing an inanimate object. There's a specific term for that I can't fucking remember.
Well, look at the scar. What if the robot is patterned after a female? I mean, you would call that robot a female, wouldn't you? Technically, it's not, but you know.
Right. That's.
Well, I shouldn't say that nowadays with 51 genders and shit.
No fucking shit, dude.
Don't you fuck.
Yeah, I identify as a robot chicken. So yeah. Oh no, that's taken. I want to get copyright. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, there's gender copyrights now?
I don't know, but Robot Chicken is a
They're gonna be able
show.
to find you in New York.
Seth Green's gonna get me.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
You can get up to a $250,000 fine if you maliciously mislabel a misgender somebody.
Yeah. So back to the.
Sorry.
Can robots be female?
Yeah, I say.
Can they
yes.
have a gender or a sex? I don't even know what the difference between that is, anyways.
Heavy metal. Didn't they have like female robots having sex with
Heavy
dudes
metal?
and shit?
Oh.
Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. That's like back to the ScarJoBot thing. Anthropomorphism. That's correct, RBG. Thanks for that. Anthropomorphism. That's correct.
Yeah, it's easy for him to say.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't think it needs a sex. It's just a robot. Just stop trying to apply some kind of gender to it. I think they're doing that because they want people to like associate themselves with it in some way. Well, we made a quote unquote male robot. No, you didn't. You made a robot.
Right.
You know, that's all it was a robot. But people want to attribute it as a male because what? It wasn't wearing lipstick or high heels. Well, guess what? Dudes can do that now too. They have been doing it. So how does that make that a female if dudes were doing it? You know, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Developers are afraid of the PC police nowadays, man. They really are.
Well, like Paragon,
everything's becoming female.
Okay, we noticed this trend with Paragon recently.
Oh yes,
they
yes,
released a
please
new
bring that up.
character. I don't remember her name. It's like a generic anime girl, number 53. And we noticed that their last like 4 or even 5 characters were female.
Yeah. Yeah.
All in like tight, skin tight clothes, like hot pants and all that. Armor that covers the shoulder but leaves, you know, their tits open. And I was like, wait, whoa, what's going on here? That's so much like, okay, we get what you're doing. Maybe you need to back off a little. It's not female empowerment when you're just
It's
like
forced at this point.
yeah, it's forced. It's like, come on, man, come on.
Well, you know, Black Desert Online they put out a new character last week's, a new character class called Dark Knight. It's male only.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I remember. Well, they've been talking about that for a while. I thought was it just last week that they finally let out?
2 weeks ago, I believe. I haven't played it yet. I can't wait to play it. It looks badass.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
class
have the
is
answer for
badass,
any of
but
this shit. I'm just
It's
talking
female
about
only.
it.
You can
But
only make a female character out of it.
Just
Yeah.
to let you know, guys, how generic the Paragon's new character is. Her name is
God.
Yin.
Yeah.
Yin.
Yin.
Y-I-N. Yin.
Oh my
if it
God.
couldn't
I
be-
just like the last one was like a cheerleader / J-pop star.
Yeah.
in hot
Shinbi.
pants.
Shinbi. Yep.
In hot pants. Yeah, come on. Get what?
And the one before that, Aurora, she's half naked. Like one half of her body is closed, the other half is completely nude.
And then she had the dark side. There was Aurora, and then there was the other one that was
A
the
Seraph.
Seraph. And before that was Countess, who was a sexy assassin.
Yeah.
They all got to be sexy.
Countess?
Yeah,
I like
Countess.
that.
Oh, yeah, you got to check her out. She's not bad.
Yeah. Countess Shaku.
Oh, we found Count's waifu.
Yeah. I got another name for that, but anyway. Go ahead.
Oh, we heard the reality of that earlier. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh man.
Who,
Okay.
his wife was so kind enough to bring him food, by the way. You know.
Okay. Last thing I got here. Have either of you been following No Man's Sky as of late?
Oh,
yeah.
Because
No, only an article title, and I laughed my ass off about it.
well, No Man's
They've
Sky.
had updates. I know
Yeah,
that.
exactly. They recently had an update, and No Man's Sky has started getting positive reviews. People are actually starting to say this is the game they wanted at launch. They've they've optimized the game. They've improved the visuals. They've added a ton of new mechanics. They've added a ton of new base building and customization features. Brand new vehicles, including like rovers and cars and like just a ton of new stuff. Just a ton of new vehicles, customization, base building. They've made No Man's Sky better, and quite frankly, they've made it the game that people really wanted. Like they've got trading, they've got dreadnoughts, I think they're called, like giant spaceships that you can like build a base inside. Like all this stuff that people wanted when the game came out that just wasn't there. So
It's so big of add into a full price $60 game. You know, boy, they're bending over backwards for us at this point.
Do they actually have multiplayer now?
No. They do let you share your bases now. Like you share your bases online. Like other players can find your bases in their single player game.
No.
No?
It's not multiplayer.
No, yeah, it's not multiplayer. No. But that's the best. That's the closest they've got to it.
Yeah. Still lying.
Yeah.
My headline was No Man's Sky is on sale.
Oh.
How much?
Like 40%. Okay. 40% off gets it to $35.99? You're fucking kidding me, right?
Get the fuck out of here.
How expensive is this goddamn game? $90?
Jesus.
Did you? I guess Sean Murray put something on Twitter because they were like, whatever happened to Sean Murray? Guy's been laying low, man. You find Jimmy Hoffa before you find that guy now.
Sean Murray is dead.
Yeah, I guess there was an article where he was, it's been so rough for him and all this. Get the fuck out of here, Sean Murray. Shut the fuck up.
I'm right. 40% off brings it to $35.99. I thought I was wrong.
That's insane.
40%.
Yep.
Holy
That's
shit.
ridiculous.
Yep.
What?
I may have to update the game. I saw that my PlayStation was updating the game. Every time I get on Horizon, I say, No Man's Sky has been added to the update. I'm like, oh, boy. I may have to get on there one night. I may get drunk and play it or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, let us know how the new game modes, new vehicles
Stream
are,
it.
Count.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Stream it.
Okay, I thought that was the last thing I had. I actually had two more things I forgot about. One other thing. I know you're sick and tired of me bringing up this game. I'm sorry, but it keeps getting new content. Battleborn. I finally took the time to check out Battleborn's new story operations. The last two story operations, the last new content for Battleborn. Which, surprisingly, they released both of the new story operations within the same week of one another, which was very odd. Usually it's been a couple months in between each one. Now they just released the last two same week. That was, I don't know, I just found that odd. The date and timing. So I played the new story missions, and what really surprised me is I don't know where Gearbox is getting the money, but the locations and enemies in the
Not from the sales.
in the new story operations, they had totally new assets. The locations, like environmental props and new boss battles, they had totally new assets. The last couple story missions, you could tell, like, okay, they're reusing a lot from the base game. They're reusing a lot from the story campaign.
They just pulled assets from the upcoming Borderlands 3.
Hey, you never know.
There you go.
But yeah, I was genuinely surprised, and as someone who's always liked Battleborn, they really put a twist on the formula.
Yeah.
With the first story operation, Montana and the Tale of the Demon Bear. It's a very character driven, very funny one where they pull a lot of shenanigans, like with Borderlands 2 Tiny Tina DLC.
Funny.
They pull off shenanigans with that, where like someone's telling a story and then they'll say something else and it will change stuff in the gameplay environment. Pretty neat. And the last story operation, Phoebe and the Heart of Ekinar. Yeah, that's what it's called. Since that's the last thing of Battleborn, I guess they want to go all out because there's a shit ton of enemies in that mission. More so than in the base game. And there's already a crap ton of enemies in the base game. I found myself getting completely overwhelmed by just dozens and dozens of enemies. I wasn't used to it. I'm used to like fighting maybe 5, maximum maybe 10 enemies at a time in Battleborn. There was easily dozens, 20, 30 enemies on the screen at once. It was crazy. I'm guessing because this is the last like content, last mission, whatever they're adding, they decided to go all out on terms of the difficulty because it was actually pretty challenging.
A while back, I had mentioned on the podcast that if there was anybody out there listening that actually cared about Battleborn, to email us at b3gamingcast@gmail.com. You are still welcome to send that email. We have not gotten a single one. Now, we
it was
challenging.
One. You didn't have your homeboy Janzer there with you.
Or Volts. It's
doing
true.
the co-op there.
Yeah. So, well, when you gift me a game and you keep pushing it and I keep rejecting the gift, but then you come up with a reason for me, like, we want to look at the art assets, and I'm like,
yes.
For a series, and I'm like, okay, fair enough. I'll install it for that, because I actually do that. Then I'm like, well, I might as well actually play the damn game, right? And I'm going to waste it,
You were duped.
Once again, though, we said, I said, there was, not a lot of we there. I was just me that saying, if you want to hear more about the game, send b3gamingcast@gmail.com. Now, I wasn't fair, though. I should have said, if you want us to never bring it up again, please email us. Please, for the love of God, I will give you a video game at b3gamingcast@gmail.com. Now, what game that is, I don't know. Maybe it's going to be free, like Warframe. Who knows? But the important thing is...
He's gifting a free game.
The important thing is... Please tell us you never want to hear it again, and we'll stop bringing it up. All right.
Mostly me. Mostly me.
He loves that game.
Oh, man. Okay, well, it just keeps... It's got new content. I know it's not news anyone wants to hear, but it's what I played during the week. And the last thing of gaming news I have, this may be my final update on the faction war in For Honor. So... For the first round, because I don't want to keep bringing it up every podcast.
Well, it's every 2 weeks, though, right?
When a round ends.
5 weeks.
Yeah. Right. But just an interesting development has happened in the faction war. Beforehand, when the faction war started, when the game launched,
well, like Vikings won last time, you told us.
Yes.
Yeah, don't give us an entire history. Tell us what's going on now, man.
Okay, what's going on now? Since the first round the Vikings won, the Vikings have been dominant for the longest time. They've been kicking our asses. Until finally, the Samurai and the Knights actually formed an alliance. We stopped attacking each other's territory and went straight for the Vikings. And we pushed so hard into their territory, we got into their fucking capital. We were about to attack the capital when all of a fucking sudden, I don't know where all these new Viking players are coming from. I guess everyone who's picking up the game recently is just going with the Viking faction. Because just as we were about to attack their capital, we got pushed the fuck out of their territory. Like, legitimately, we had dozens of areas of territory, like, they had nothing but their capital. Then, before you know it, the whole map's red again. Red is their color.
Wow.
So, the Vikings just pushed back hard. And the alliance between the Knights and the Samurai broke away. They started fighting each other again. Us Knights made a huge push. We were like, okay, we've made our way into Viking and Samurai territory. Like, holy shit, we're actually doing well. The Knight faction is actually doing well for once in the faction war. And then our territory got taken over again. And right now,
you need Joan of Arc.
Yes.
Sounds like an episode of Survivor or something.
I know, right? Jeez. So right now it's in a stalemate. Right now, no faction is dominant. Right now, we're kind of stuck in our own territories. We can't take any of each other's territories, and when territories we do take, they immediately get taken back. There's no dominant force right now. It's a freeway stalemate. So it's going to be very interesting because round 2 is almost over. And no one has more territories than the other one. So something has to happen in the next few days. I don't know what I was going to say there. Something has to happen in the next few days. One of the factions has to make a major push. Else this next round's going to be a draw.
Wow.
So it's very, very curious following the faction war and seeing how it progresses through For Honor. Because I always expected that one faction would just dominate all the others. It's been like that with other games I played that have faction wars, like what was that game? Planet Side 2? Yeah, Planet Side 2.
Yeah.
That had
Yeah.
factions. And Mortal Kombat had a faction system where you joined a faction in multiplayer and fought for that faction. And usually in those games I played, there was one faction that just dominated all the others. And here in For Honor, it's a real power struggle. No one every time someone makes a push and starts, it looks like, oh man, they're gonna win, another faction comes right the fuck out of nowhere and takes all their territory back. It's very fascinating, but I'm not going to bring this up every podcast. I think this may be the last update I do.
I mean, because it happens so rarely, there's nothing wrong with talking about the faction update.
Okay. Well, I'll bring it up from time to time, but I don't want to bring it up every podcast about the For Honor faction war.
Well, it's not every podcast that it happens, right? It's not every week.
Yeah.
I brought it up for the last 2 weeks, so I brought it up for the last 2 weeks, so I think 3 weeks.
Well, this is like the end of the round, so I don't see anything wrong with saying,
yeah.
okay, so Knights have lost it, blah, blah, blah. It's like a sports update.
Oh, okay.
Not a big deal. Not a big deal. You don't need to get the history of everything. Just this is what's going on right now. That's it. Yeah.
All right, yeah, so
cool.
round 2
I mean, I still want to
over.
play that game. That game and Ghost Recon Wildlands, those are both games I absolutely am going to play. It's more a matter of getting a good sale on it or something like that,
Yeah, of course.
I see a sale coming on For Honor pretty soon. I know they've had a big player drop off.
Yeah,
they
they're
did.
averaging about 10 to 12,000,
Yeah, you can I hate to, I know I'm going to get
But that's
some
on
shit for
Steam
this.
alone. That's on Steam alone, to be fair.
That's on Steam alone, but
And
I
that's
know,
not the primary platform for that game.
true.
So,
True.
True.
It's doing well on consoles. Yeah, I thought it would be big on PC, but it's actually doing really, really well. Was it PlayStation or Xbox? One of the two. It was doing pretty well
PS4.
on.
It's a lot of my
okay.
friends, from work though, that got the game. They're starting to get out of it, starting to drop it already a little bit.
Yeah.
They say there's a lot of griefing in that game.
Oh yeah, well yeah. It happens. There are some players that just want. They know
Wanna
the
have fun?
mechanics. Yeah.
Some girls. All right.
Yep.
Oh man, yeah. So that's everything I got. I honestly don't got much news this week. That's all I got. So.
No, it's no problem. We're already at an hour 47, so I'll see
good
what
point.
I can.
Yeah.
Still haven't touched my stuff. Really quickly, let me see if I can run through some stuff here. Quake Champions, free to play, that's going to be their model. You might have reported this last time, GamerTron. I can't quite remember.
No, this is brand new. This is brand new to me.
You reported the fact that there was going to be open access, closed
closed
beta access that you had to sign up for.
Yeah.
So it's going to go to free-to-play with a 4-pay option. Now, there's an interesting little kind of twist in here that I have never seen before. Free players can spend in-game currency called favor to unlock other characters, but only for a certain period of time. It's like renting a character.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's kind of weird. Now, here's the thing about Quake Champions that I haven't really looked into. Are they doing kind of like a hero type of thing? Because in an FPS, it doesn't matter unless there's specific abilities locked to one character. It's an FPS, it doesn't matter unless you're just talking about the look of the character. You really want the look of one character. An FPS is you get a gun, you shoot those motherfuckers. So unless it's a hero type, I know they announced recently a Nyx character, NYX, just like Warframe. I was like, what? Nyx is from Warframe? Wow. But she's coming out to the game, and I'm like, well, are they having special ability? Is it going to be a hero shooter kind of, hero FPS?
Actually, yes and no. It's going to have one game mode where each hero is going to have a special ability unique to that hero, but there's also going to be classic Quake where that's turned off.
Yeah, if you did not have that classic mode, people would riot. That would be garbage. That would be bullshit.
Yeah, I made a video on this a while ago where people were freaking out. Oh my god, they have hero characters. I'm like,
right.
Dude, shut the fuck up. The devs even said there's going to be a classic playlist. You don't need... This is just to get new players into the game.
Well,
hero
people don't know,
right
and
now.
so it's okay. They're responding because they don't know. So actually, it's okay. And that's why you make those videos to kind of help inform them,
Yeah, I know, but people were sending death threats to the devs, like,
well,
how dare you
new?
ruin Quake? Jeez.
It's all the rage now, Kill yourself. All right, KYS. Because of death. Dark Souls 3 Ring City DLC images have been shown off on apparently on Facebook page.
Ooh.
So if you're interested in that DLC, I know Mr. 109 Volts for sure. I know yourself, GamerTron. If you're looking forward to that update, that's apparently showing off terrible beasts and new weapons. I'm going to have to go hunt that down. This is just kind of like a reminder. Like, go out there and go check it out.
Didn't know there were new weapons.
Yeah. Just a quick little thing here that I saw that I thought was interesting. Banner Saga 3, which I'm sure you guys remember the whole controversy with Banner Saga trying to say, you can't use the word or Saga because we have Saga. You know, remember all that garbage?
Right.
So they had a Kickstarter, and they raised twice the amount of money. They were asking for $200,000. They got $400,000. $416,000, actually.
Damn.
Yeah, people love that fucking game, apparently. So get your diehard fans on that. Let's see. Metal Gear Solid movie. Have y'all heard about that? Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. So
It's
apparently...
happening.
Oh, yeah. There's a director attributed to it already, and he's been talking about it. The director, Jordan Vogt, Jordan V-O-G-T, Vogt Roberts. I've never heard of this guy before. I looked up his filmography, some indie shit that I never heard of, whatever. But he's getting a lot of like Kojima even was like, hey, this guy has done good movies in the past. It'll be great to see what he's going to do with Kong Skull Island. Apparently, that's like part of his So if he does a good job, if that hits well, Metal Gear Solid's going to get a good showing because they're going to look at the last movie that he just did. That's all that's how that works. But they're gonna put Gray Fox in the movie for sure, aka Cyborg Ninja. So if you're familiar with that, and then they want to put Sniper Wolf, possibly, the like hot sniper chick with the like V open like shirt, and you can see cleavage and all. Yeah. So,
Scarlett Johansson. No,
probably they're probably gonna put Meryl Streep. There you go.
Wait, what?
Meryl Streep. Yeah, there you go.
That would just be
Good
scary.
God, I definitely want to see it then.
Glorious. Yeah, so
Meryl.
Look for some of that info out there. I couldn't find that much more information about it other than just those quick things about the director talking about the game, the video, the movie.
The Kong Skull Island director,
it's the same guy. Yep.
They're gonna. That's kind of the rage nowadays.
Yep.
Is the bigger budget movies are snatching the indie directors.
Yes.
That's kind of the big thing. So
absolutely. It's a smart thing, and it's actually really good for the indie guys. Yeah. Now, the problem is it makes or breaks their career a lot of the time.
Oh, exactly.
So if Kong does really well, you can bet he's going to stay on from Metal Gear Solid. Just because they named him with Metal Gear Solid right now doesn't fucking mean they're going to keep him.
True.
They do that shit
they may
all
go
the time.
3 or 4 directors.
Oh, yeah. But
by that time, you never know.
Kong Skull Island plus the director, like that movie plus the director, both have been getting a lot of props apparently in the industry. So, we'll see what's going on there. If Kojima backs you, you got a lot of hype right there. That's pretty cool. Mass Effect and Andromeda getting free multiplayer DLC maps. They said it's going to be like ME3. That's nothing like surprising, but they're going to have loot boxes that players can unlock through gameplay or by spending real money. So through gameplay, that's normal, right? ME3 did that as well.
Yeah, did that as well.
Did they do that with real money as well, though?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
Actually, Mass Effect 3 is kind of the one that started the whole loot box craze.
The problem is they also dropped support for the game, not too much after the fact.
Yeah, they dropped it after 1 year. After 1 year of supporting it, it was done.
Yeah, so there's one other thing, though, for those of you to note, PC or console. A free trial for the game will be available through EA Origin Access programs of Xbox One and PS4, starting on March 16th, so 5 days from now, or whenever you're listening to this, who knows when. It's going to be a 10-hour trial that lets players test multiplayer and single player, although the campaign content is going to be locked to a set number of missions. That's actually been something to put on your fucking calendar if you're listening right now. Definitely we'll be playing that for sure.
10 hours is actually pretty generous considering how big the game is.
Yeah. We'll see how it is. Let's see here. Here's one other one. Games of Glory entering closed beta. I've not heard anything about this game. I just saw an article on it. Apparently, it's a top-down team shooter developed by the veterans from DICE and Ubisoft.
Oh.
So there's some ex-DICE and Ubisoft people that are going to be making this game. So that's potentially good, right?
Yeah.
But when I went to watch the trailer and I put it on Twitter, they were showing the male characters like, here's a dude. They were just kind of standing there. The female, and I got to enact this. The female was shown, And when they show her, she's like this, and she goes, like she's presenting her tits. I was like, she like arches her spine and pushes her chest forward. Just check out the Twitter thing that I posted out there on Games of Glory. And if you can't find it, let me know and I'll send you the link. I was just like, that's a little odd.
I'd like to see that. Yeah.
She's like, check out these double Ds.
So you put that on your Twitter?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
It's a link to. Oh, I thought you meant like you put that on Twitter. I was like, yeah, of course. Because I always find those weird little hypocritical things. I'm like, really? People call it cynicism. It's not. It's called hypocrisy. I love finding the hypocrisy in life. Right. The Division Year 1 anniversary. So I've already logged in and checked out that. So celebrating by giving players 200 premium credits. The premium credits are, of course, things that you can buy with real-world money. You cannot get them with in-game currency, and they allow you to buy in-game content such as skins, emotes, and stuff like that. Nothing that breaks the game. We've talked about this in the past, but they're giving you 200 premium credits. So you should have already had about 170, I think. So that took me up to like 370. And they're giving you like a free emote, as well. That's part of their Division Year 1 anniversary stuff to like kind of like thank you for playing the game. Eventually, though, there's going to be 2 free DLCs coming up that are not they're free, so you don't have to pay for it. There's not going to be a Year 2 season pass, nothing like that. There's going to quote unquote season pass that is going to be all free though. So you're just going to get it. So the first expansion is going to be around the summer or so. And that's going to be a lot of these, like, they didn't really specify what the events are going to be, but small little events that kind of boost your XP, boost your, your in-game currency and different, like, XP systems. Because, you have Phoenix credits, you have regular credits, you have your own XP. So there's going to be some of that. There's also going to be some kind of, like, cash, I think even right now, maybe, until the 12th, maybe, this might be the weekend where they're giving XP boost. I think 11th, actually today is the day where they're doing loot crate, not loot crate, but cash boosts. So if you go through and you put on your equipment that does double accolades and stuff like that, you can really rank in like the extra caches and stuff like that. Probably really recommend that to people that really like the Division. Get some of that new content that's out there, like the exotics and whatnot. Well, you got to play legendary stuff to get exotics. But yeah. We
gotta try that sometime.
Yeah.
I tried that solo. It didn't go so well.
So the downside is there was no part of a Division 2 mentioned. The upside is the second content pack that's coming out. And I saw a tweet from Bazools, and he was like, what? No narrative and blah, blah story? How could you? But it looks like during their live stream, they actually said the second content pack is going to focus on story and narrative.
Yay!
Yeah. So that's good.
That's kind of cool.
I would rather that than like XP boosts. I don't give a shit. I'm 30, 256, all of that. I don't need any other whatever, They also mentioned there's not going to be any more level increases or anything like that. Like, no gear increases, nothing like that.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So
they focus a little more on the story.
Well, they're going to do that. They're going to focus on giving some rewards and whatnot. They're also going to keep focusing on balancing out gameplay. And that's good. Stop fucking adding new shit and balance the stuff you've got in there now, or fix the damn bugs that you have, that kind of stuff. That's always the biggest problem with games is they want to keep putting out new content, and they tend to not fix the stuff that's broken. So they end up losing the attention of gamers regardless, because new stuff only is like the quick. It's the quick hit, Yep. It keeps people in for a little bit, but because there's so many broken bugs, people were still going to gravitate away because none of that got fixed. They're like, hey, this is cool. This is all, but this shit's still broken. I'm out of here. It was neat to see this new content. So just always go with the long game, and throw some of that short game in there too, but work the long game all the time. Last thing. I don't know how much you guys care about this stuff, but I bought a PS3 a long time ago for Rock Band because I like Rock Band. I love it. I liked playing the Fisher-Price guitar and the Fisher-Price drums and singing.
I used to have Guitar Hero on Xbox 360.
Yeah. I liked Guitar Hero as well, but Rock Band allowed me to sing too. You know?
Oh, yeah.
So I've got a
Let's
list
hear it.
here of the games. Well, you did in that one
Oh,
Twitch
yeah, that's
where
right.
yeah.
You got you got a copyright
strike for it, right? Apparently, I was too close to the original singer, so they were like, "Hey, we don't know about that."
Can you sing that one song from Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome? I
which
need
one
a
is it?
hero, or what is that?
Oh
I
no,
need-
that's Bonnie.
Bonnie Tyler
She
or
doesn't
whatever.
sing in that. That's like who is Harry Crumb with? Remember the detective John Candy as the detective?
Yeah, John Candy. Who's
You
Harry
said
Crumb,
Mad
yeah.
Max. Was it in
Yeah,
Mad
what
Max
was
Beyond
the,
Thunderdome? Did they really have that song in that? It seems a little too lighthearted.
I thought they did. Wasn't that
Really?
Tina Turner? No,
Tina
maybe
Turner did
Tina
not. It was
Turner
Bonnie
did a
Straight
version
that
of it or
sang.
something.
Yeah. Oh,
Fuck,
really?
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. But
I
Harry
love
Crumb,
that.
who is
I
Harry
like that
Crumb?
song, though.
Not a lot of people know that movie.
Yep.
But it's hilarious at the end with the airport scene, and he's, I mean, at one point in there, he's in like some kind of like masseuse parlor or whatever. And okay, I'm not gonna say, but he put something on his face, some facial hair that shouldn't have been there, that came from somebody.
Yeah,
all right. Anyways, the list of songs here, I'm gonna go real quick. Aerosmith, "Walk This Way" again. Well, let me see. Kind of highlight Aerosmith, "Walk This Way," right? Alice in Chains, "Man on the Box." Avenged Sevenfold. Some people like that stuff.
Yeah.
The Black Keys. I like the Black Keys a lot. They're really cool. "Gold on the Ceiling." That's a good song. Bon Jovi, "Living on a Prayer." There you go, Graham. Dragon Force, "Through the Fire and Flame."
Favorite song.
Hell yeah. Dragon Force, "Through the Fire and Flame." That was on Guitar Hero. Notoriously hard song to play. Classic Foo Fighters, "Everlong." I'm kind of tired of hearing that one fucking song from Foo Fighters. Can they put another fucking song in? Joan Jett, "Bad Reputation." Huh, interesting. The Killers, "When You Were Young." Actually, I like that song. Megadeth, "Hangar 19."
Yeah, I like
Oasis,
that.
"Champagne
David Stang.
Supernova." Paramore.
I hate that. I
Paramore.
hate that song.
Van Halen, "Panama." Oh shit! You could live out your David Lee Roth fantasies, because remember, this is Rock Band VR, so you're going to have the set on. You can see through the characters. Apparently, they're supposed to really work on the story in game. I'm like, I don't give a shit about that. I just want to, I want to replay out my fantasies of being a rock star that never happened.
Yeah, but I don't want old Lee Roth. I want young David Lee Roth.
Hell yeah, the crazy
I don't want old fucking burnout David Lee Roth.
No, who the fuck does?
Yeah.
Blondie.
Can I just say I hate Oasis? I fucking hate them.
I don't like that song specifically, "Champagne Supernova."
Hey now, count. Hey.
Blondie one way or another. Carrie Underwood. I don't know who that is. Catfish. I don't know who
Wait,
that is.
what? You don't know who Carrie
Coldplay.
Underwood
I don't know who
Carrie
they are.
Underwood's the one that promotes violence.
All I think of is hairy underwear every time I see that
Oh
name.
Her
my
boyfriend cheated on her, so she beat the fuck out of his truck, and she.
Oh, but that's acceptable. Was she
Yeah.
country?
Yeah, she's country.
Okay, then that's actually required.
She's from American Idol.
Yeah, that's required if you're in country to
that's
do that
true.
kind of a thing, because that's like a stereotype.
Now, if a man made a song about violence against women, then you never hear the end of it. But
Well, what was
yeah,
that
go
guy
ahead, I'm
that
sorry.
punched Rihanna a bunch of times, and she was like, "Oh, I love it. I
Brown.
want to keep getting back into that."
Chris Brown.
Keep punching my face. David Bowie, "Suffragette City." Not my favorite David Bowie song, but that's all right. They had it.
Mine either.
Yeah, they had it on the previous version. Europe, "The Final Countdown." Get out of here! I fucking hate
I
that
love
song.
Europe, man.
The Final Countdown, though, the only
my
fucking
favorite
song
song.
that they ever fucking play.
Yeah, I like Cherokee and Rock
They just
the
put
Night
that
and
in there for the memes, They just.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it. I hate memes.
Yeah, that's
really
not the
think
best.
they're
That's not
thinking
near
of
the best.
memes?
Europe.
Do
No.
you really think these guys
the
care?
Final Countdown.
Yeah,
Get
I-
out of here! It's
Like
such
the
an
developers
annoying
and
song.
publishers care about the memes.
I said Bonnie straight. It's Bonnie Tyler.
Bonnie Tyler. Yeah.
Let's see. Green Day, "Holiday." It's a different Green Day song.
Yeah.
Not my favorite though.
Yeah.
Jimmy Eat World, "The Middle." Now that song, can they just let it die already? Just let it die. It was a one-hit wonder song. Needs to die.
I don't like that. Yeah.
Maroon 5. Why? No one likes Maroon 5.
I fucking
Get
hate
the fuck out of here with that garbage.
Okay, that's simply not true. I don't
Nirvana,
like
"Smells
Maroon
Like
5,
Teen
but-
Spirit," and yet the only song that they ever play from Nirvana. Come on. Pearl Jam, "Alive." I hate that song. I love
I don't
Pearl
like
Jam,
that either.
but I'm still alive.
I like Jeremy, though. I do like
I'm
Jeremy.
still alive. All right, we get
You
it.
sound like some
Eddie
Native
Vedder.
American ritual.
Yeah, there you go. Because it is. That's
Yeah,
it.
I know.
He actually does some songs that are very close to that too. Anyways,
Eddie Vedder.
Yeah. But he's kind of a weirdo. Stone Temple Pilots plush. That's all right. I like plush.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's all right. I don't ever heard of Switchfoot. The Atlantic, the Wind and the Wave. Never heard of those other ones. But there's some decent ones in there and some expected ones and whatnot. Once again, though, at least they're doing something with that Rock Band stuff. That kind of had a big hit, and it just went the fuck out. It just went. It was there like a big, everybody was playing it, and then gone.
I like that Megadeth Hangar 18. I like that.
Yeah,
I'm a huge Megadeth fan anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's supposed to be some more songs as well, but that's the current list that they have there. And, it's all right. I'd actually like to really see some more Black Keys. I'm really surprised that they put that in there. But seems like a little...
Yeah, I actually had Rocksmith. I bought that for my PS4. And then,
dude, I have that now. You want to jam out?
Yeah, I know. No, I end up selling that in my guitar because I am officially the world's worst guitar player. I tried.
My God. You're too hard on yourself, man.
How do you know? You haven't heard him. He probably is. You just don't know.
The dog would go hide under the fucking couch when I start playing. It's bad. Yeah.
At least he wasn't howling too, Please help!
I have faith that you are much better than you are letting on.
No, I was
now
terrible.
Get out of that persona.
I practiced and practiced, and I could not get it.
Persona, that's a whole other game.
I was a sucky trombone player, though. I played trombone.
I played jazz.
I played 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade, and I still sucked. There were guys that played for 3 weeks that were better than me, and I was like... My band teacher was like, "You have no talent." I was like, "I know."
Well, some people are not a brass player. Maybe you were more a sax player. Or a drummer. You never know. So I just don't have the coordination to be a drummer.
We tried to make a heavy metal band in high school, and I just can't. My buddy's a real good guitar player. I just can't play. I tried. I just can't.
Yeah. Well, you got the. You could do like L.A. Woman though. You could sing instead. You could do L.A. You got the range. You're down there. Yeah.
L.A. Woman.
Hell yeah, that's a great song, man, from the Doors. Yeah. All he does is bam, 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 bam.
Woke up in the morning, got myself
just get real fucking drunk and
yeah,
there you go. Or Johnny Cash. You got that range down there for the Johnny Cash.
I think you could do Johnny Cash.
Yeah. Counts like 2 or 3 levels below me easily when it comes to like pitch. So, all right, guys, we got a podcast, right? 2 hours and 7 minutes. That was badass. That's how it needs to be. No more 3-hour bullshit.
Okay.
And we covered all the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
I was gonna bitch about Iron Fist, but I'm gonna wait till next.
Oh
week.
no! I want to hear about it.
No.
I thought you had nothing. I thought we said
next week.
No, I want to hear. There was one thing.
Do it now.
Critics talked about it being bad.
Well, the critics of what March 17th, Iron Fist comes out on Netflix, and they've had hits on Netflix before. I didn't really care for Luke Cage that much. I thought it was okay.
Yeah,
I wasn't crazy about it. Same with Jessica Jones. I thought it was okay. I wasn't crazy about it. Loved Daredevil. But everyone's like, oh, Iron Fist, we've seen the first 6 episodes. It's so terrible. But all of the criticism is centered on Danny Rand being a white guy instead of an Asian guy. Yeah, they're putting it down for not
because he's not Asian
guy. And Finn Jones from Game of Thrones and he deleted his Twitter account because of the controversy. I'm like, quit backing away from these people.
Wow, you shouldn't have to put up with it, man. Just like fucking do your thing.
They're saying the whitewashing of Iron Fist. And I was like, why Iron Fist? Iron Fist has been around since like 1974.
Yeah, he's a really old character.
It was created by a guy named Roy Thomas. He's a white guy. I hate to break it to these people.
Yeah.
The character is white. That's the whole basis of the story, that he's a fish out of water.
Exactly. Like, even I remember that.
Yeah. And one critic was like, well, they've stolen from Batman Begins. No, you got it backwards. Batman Begins stole from Iron Fist. Batman Begins is not the original origin of Batman. I got
the movie?
I got in a Twitter feud with this guy, one of the
critics.
No,
the movie is like a neat interpretation, but that's all it is.
Yeah, it's like Batman Begins has nothing to do with the actual beginning origins of the original Batman from the comic book. Go read the Iron Fist comic books. I mean, so I don't know. I was really, they triggered me this week. I was really bashing. I got into a lot of Twitter feuds with these fucking so-called professional critics about Iron Fist. It might suck, but saying that it sucks because you put a white guy cast as a white character makes no fucking sense to me.
Well, they wanted the different version or whatever.
Yeah, they want a different version. I didn't hear him bitching to put an Asian guy playing Luke Cage. Why wasn't an Asian guy cast to play Luke Cage? Because he's a fucking black guy. That's why. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. So you can't win, but we'll see how it is next week. We'll see.
Yeah, there was another casting I saw where there was one woman comic book character that they're casting her like as a black woman now, and I'm like, but she was never that in the comic, unless I just
in Iron Fist.
Was it in Iron Fist? It wasn't something that oh shit, almost spilled my coffee. It was something I just kind of looked across real quick, and I was like, wait a second, why is she a black woman in the casting? I was like, I don't know, maybe it was, I'm not sure, but
well, the Netflix Marvel interpretation so far has bent over backwards for diversity. There was a character in Daredevil that was white in the comic books that they made black. He was the journalist guy that got killed.
The journalist guy. Yeah.
He's a white guy in the comic books, but they made him a black guy. That's fine. It doesn't really matter. I mean, can we transcend skin color? You know what I mean?
Yes, please.
But these people want to keep harping
Oh, it was like
on
Nick Fury. Nobody complained that he was Sam Jackson, pretty much.
Yeah,
see, my Nick Fury that I grew up
that
with that old hardcore, like World War II vet or whatever, he was pretty fucking badass.
Nick Fury was always a white guy up until like the early 2000s.
I don't remember anybody bitching about that because Sam Jackson is also badass.
Yeah.
I mean, they even drew him like the character like Sam Jackson. They pretty much just stole his identity and threw it in the comic.
But there is a character that they've changed from white to Asian in Iron Fist. The Daughters of the Dragon are Misty Knight and Colleen Wing. I hate to break it to them, but Colleen Wing was a white girl in the comic books. She's not Asian, but they made her Asian in the Netflix series. But they don't mention that.
Well,
they've already changed these characters for diversity sake of just. Why are you making it,
We kind of talked about this at the beginning of the last podcast. Yeah. Like me looking up all that comic stuff, it looks like Marvel just does things. They just do things, They're like, we're going to make this a diverse cast or whatever. DC changes their characters based on a fucking story.
Based on a story.
There's a fucking difference versus like, all right, GamerTron, like tomorrow, next time we show up, GamerTron is going to be like some Brazilian dude that's like, what? Who the fuck is that?
And it's
wait
not
a second.
We're racist. It has nothing to do with racist. At least if you're going to change the character, make it make sense
give us a fucking
for the
reason.
Story's sake.
Yeah.
Don't just force the diversity just because of the word diversity.
Which is what Marvel's doing. They're just
that's
making
Marvel's
changes
doing.
And I don't know, man.
See, Marvel's allowing their writers to interject their politics into the characters. Well, these characters already have their own politics. You don't have to interject them. They got Dan Slott tweeting out, well, all Marvel comic characters have been social justice warriors from day one. No, they haven't. I'm sorry, Dan. You don't know the characters. Stop projecting your politics into the characters. It's these characters. You have to write around the characters' already established politics. You know what I mean? There's no creativity there. You can't write a already established character and just interject all of your beliefs and political ideas into that character. It doesn't work that way. That's not how you do things.
Basically, what these writers need to do is they need to challenge their own points of view for the sake of the story.
Exactly. Well,
look, it's too hard, GamerTron. It's too hard to actually do it the right way.
They didn't create these characters. Anyway, Iron Fist, they're like, one critic quoted, trending on Twitter, Netflix has failed to be relevant and current by making Danny Rand a white guy. Are you fucking kidding me?
What?
Are you fucking kidding me? Danny Rand has never been anything but a white guy. So, yeah, I told him basically, go fuck yourself.
On top of
okay?
that, that's incredibly racist and pretentious.
Yeah, it's super racist.
See, I'm kind of worried that the next time we show up that I'm going to be like a white dude. I mean, like, they're going to just, you guys are going to swap me out. But he was always whatever the fuck he was, a mixed breed. So why are we, I don't know, man.
I just don't understand why they're taking flack and why, Finn Jones is the actor that was cast as Iron Fist. Why did he back down? I mean,
because look, imagine you're the actor, you get the part, and then everybody tells you you're shit just because of your race. Doesn't that sound fucking racist?
Yeah.
It's the most racist thing. It's not progressive. This progressive attitude is not progressive.
Why give him
racist.
shit for anything? If they want to give shit to anybody, give to the fucking, directors of Marvel, whoever's handling Marvel Cinematic, or whoever's handling the Netflix version. Because I know even with their games, everything's kind of fractured. I was reading an article about how they're trying to get back into games because they kind of dropped the ball with their games,
Yeah.
And
I
they
think
have.
It was Amazing Spider-Man 2, like that was a colossal flop, and they just haven't made a game since.
Well, they want to that whole Square. I think you talked about Square Enix with Marvel. You're worried about it. I'm really not worried about it. I think something good will come out of it. But there's a bunch of other developers that I read an article that really didn't say much, which was the problem because the person being interviewed was being too elusive. So I was like, well, why give an interview when you can't fucking give any details? They were like, well, we're approaching certain people and some people are approaching us. And
right.
Like, great, you fucking cunt. We're not getting anything out of this. How am I supposed to get hype about what your development's going to be? Because the interviewer was trying to prompt every, here and there, is there going to be kind of a universe among the games where Spider-Man maybe goes to a different game and they reference things that happened in this other game? That would be cool,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But they're like, well, I don't know. We're trying to give people leeway, and at the same time, blah blah blah, corporate garbage talk.
That doesn't make.
Speak.
Why would you do an interview if you have nothing to share?
Exactly. He didn't. The person didn't want you read. I think it was on. I can tell you where it was. But if you read that article, the person just totally just like, I got to do this. I didn't want to do this. It might have been on maybe Destructoid or maybe GameSpot News. GameSpot News possibly. GameSpot News. Yeah, there's an article in there about talking about Marvel games. I was going to add it in, but honestly, there was no content. So it's just like, what am I going to do? What am I going to report here? Nothing. Marvel wants to get back into games. Cool.
Because after all, we are a gaming news network. After all.
Yeah. Hashtag we're not.
Well, they've got the Telltale series of Guardians of the Galaxy coming up, I guess.
Telltale, right? Exactly.
Yeah, they shared a screenshot.
Yeah.
Of that.
Yeah, that's crazy that Telltale is making both Marvel and DC games. They are already making the Batman Telltale games with Season 2 on the way, and now they're making That's crazy. Telltale has really gone places.
Hey, man, they're whores. They'll do anything. You got $5?
I'll check out the Guardians of the Galaxy one, no doubt.
They're going to be making a Conan Exiles one, too, so get your dong sliders ready. Not unless you're on console.
What'd you say?
I say get your dong sliders ready. Unless you're on console, you don't get one.
Well, Netflix Iron Fist comes out Friday, the 17th.
Sweet.
So I will be talking about it next cast.
I will well be watching that. Hell yeah.
And it may as well. I mean, it may suck, but it's not going to suck because Danny Rand's a white guy.
Well, look, Luke Cage. Problem is, they killed Cottonmouth they bitched him out. They shouldn't have made him go out like that.
Right.
That was some garbage. Now maybe that was in the comics. I don't know.
No.
But there was such a lead up to all right, we're gonna see him unleash. All right, let's see, and then flaccid.
Yeah, Luke Cage. I didn't hate it, but also I would have handled it if I was the showrunner for that series. I would have handled that differently. I don't think that script did that character justice.
It was an interesting arc. But I definitely like the series. Even Jessica Jones, I like the series, but there were so many instances where a normal human being could have ended the entire fucking issues there with Purple Man.
Exactly.
They had him fucking drugged and you know what? I'm a normal human being with a pistol. Blam! Done.
Bam.
Next.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Problem solved.
But
Yeah,
instead,
so-
they get into some dumb situations with no thought,
Yeah.
like multiple people that are acting logically and were planning ahead of time just totally flub everything at multiple instances. I'm like,
right.
why, Jessica Jones? You
I
had
agree.
a cool idea, and there's some good parts to it, but oh my god.
It just
Daredevil
didn't really
still-
click all the way for me. I mean, it
No,
wasn't
no.
bad, but
Daredevil
Daredevil
was cool.
has clicked from basically start to finish with me.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
but-
Daredevil was cool.
That's
Yeah.
odd. That's crazy because I never got into Daredevil or Luke Cage, but I love Jessica Jones.
Okay.
You like
I
the
like to
series?
look at her. Yeah.
You finally watched the series, GamerTron?
Not all the series. I never finished Luke
Oh, okay.
Cage. I started Daredevil, then kind of
Yeah.
skipped to season 2 because my dad was watching it. And I'll watch it with you and saw some of the stuff with Elektra. And Elektra she's pretty friggin' crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
psycho.
Season 2 for Daredevil
bitch.
was we did that. Me and Count, we talked about it
Oh, yeah.
in depth,
yeah.
and it kind of jumps around a bit and kind of gets a little odd at different
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
But yeah, go listen to that podcast. It's on YouTube channel somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, but definitely talking about Iron Fist next show. We'll see how it is.
Yeah. All right, man. Sounds good. All right. Now
Yeah.
we're definitely out of here. That was an extra
Yep.
20 minutes. Not bad.
I'm sorry.
We're still no, that's good. Not bad at
Yep.
all. We're still within good timing. And thanks everyone out there for listening. Yeah, share the podcast if you can. We appreciate it.
Oh yeah, one more thing. Horizon Zero Dawn is biggest new franchise in PS4 history,
Yeah.
and they expect 6 million copies to be sold this year alone. So,
Holy shit.
and it outsold Zelda. Yeah.
Holy
I think
shit.
they were smart making it an exclusive, which we
Yep.
said was the problem with Titanfall 2. They did not make it an exclusive on a console.
Right.
They didn't channel all the fervor energy towards
Right.
The fanboyism.
It got watered down a little bit on with that, but still a great game. Anyway,
Yep. All right, guys, we're heading out of here. See you
I
next time.
promise I'm done yapping.
Remember to download us on all the things, share the cast, love the support, guys. We all appreciate you. Later.
All right. See you later.